Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening to all innovation fans. Tonight there is a special event ahead of us. Tonight there is a special evening ahead of us. Tonight there is a HealthCare Lab final demo day. For those who are not familiar with the HealthCare Lab, let me briefly describe you this project. HealthCare Lab is an acceleration program for startups that are focusing on innovation in healthcare, innovation in digitalization in healthcare, or innovation in healthcare that moves healthcare solution towards patient needs. It started just a year ago as a small local startup accelerator program in Czech and Slovakia. But only a year after, we are talking about 16 countries in Central and South Europe. We are talking about 200 and more applications. And that's amazing. That's quite amazing, because all of these applications are going to fill the main purpose of HealthCare Lab. And the main purpose is very simple: to bring groundbreaking innovation in healthcare. And this is true. And there's not only these 9 startups ahead of us, 9 perfect, organizing, inspiring pitches, but we have a rich agenda prepared for you today. We were talking about 9 startups. There will be main stars in 3 categories: healthcare data management, screening and early diagnostics, digital therapy, and disease management. But we prepare something more. We prepare a distinguished mix of jury members from healthcare founders, EIT Health InnoStars, Roche, Information Solutions, and 91 Ventures. And there's a special guest ahead of us, a special superstar keynote speaker, Mr. Padraic, head of Roche Pharma International, talking about the future of healthcare innovation, talking about the future of personalized healthcare that brings the innovation to patients. And moreover, we will have afterwards also a panel discussion finding some concrete solution to the healthcare innovation and personal healthcare innovation in the future. So this is our agenda. But tonight, it will be also about prizes, and prizes to winners. I mentioned 3 categories in which you will see 3 startups per each category, and there will be a winner in each category provided with the main award provided by Roche based on their pitch, business scalability, and impact on patient and healthcare system. But stay online, because there will be also a chance for you to vote to choose the winner of Public Vote Award. And the winner of this category will receive €4,000. And the winner in the main categories, in each category, will receive €10,000. So stay online, vote after the pitching, and start the discussion, because in your right corner, in your right screen, your right is my left, I know, there is a chat room, and you can start a discussion, you can comment all our evening, all our exciting program that is ahead of us. And all this I mentioned will be impossible without our friends, without our partners, and this is the time I would like to thanks to our partner. Thanks to our main partner, Roche and EIT Health. Thanks to the organizer of this event and all the organizer of the whole HealthCare Lab, CIVITTA, and as well other partners like Zero Gravity Capital, 11 VC, and Mass Global Partners. And talking about partners, I will be glad to discuss with them, or to hear their opinion, to hear their thoughts, to hear their emotions right now in this evening. And this is a perfect opportunity for me to ask the first representative of Roche, Mr. Darren Wilson, General Manager at Roche Slovakia, the main sponsor behind the program. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Darren Wilson. Good evening, Darren. Let me ask you, good evening once again, let me ask you one short question at the very beginning of your speech. You are the father of the idea of the HealthCare Lab. How do you see this giant step from 1 year to another, from 2 countries to 16 countries, and having more than 200 applications.
Hi, Daryl. So thank you very much, and thank you for having me. And I apologize I can't be in the studio with you. As some of you know, I'm suffering from COVID, so I have to take this presentation from home. I just want to say actually that I'm feeling very positive about healthcare innovation and the healthcare startup lab. You know, especially when we're thinking about the benefits of digitalization and new technologies, and that we have this opportunity in front of us to improve the patient journey and deliver better healthcare. So I just want to say first, on behalf of Roche, thank you to everyone who's joining us here today to participate and experience this Healthcare Lab Startup Demo Day. And specifically, I'd like to recognize everyone who is joining in support of one of the startups who are graduating from this accelerator program. You know, this is an amazing batch of startups. And as you will see, many of their projects are leading edge, and they have incredible potential to significantly improve patient outcomes and healthcare delivery. So we hope that all of you will be as inspired as we are with this showcase. Now, I did want to take a quick opportunity to just say a few words about Roche. For anyone who doesn't know Roche, Roche is an innovative global healthcare company, and we've set a bold ambition for our organization where we wish to deliver 2 to 3 times patient benefits at half the cost to society. And we realize that to achieve this kind of bold ambition, this needs partnership and collaboration with healthcare ecosystems. So this is actually why Roche originally initiated the Healthcare Lab. It was as a means to help to support health innovation coming from the startup community, and as a way to help to support our ambitions to better healthcare through the potential of partnerships. So Daryl, as you've mentioned, this is the second year of the Healthcare Lab. And you know, we're very fortunate to partner this year with EIT Health and CIVITTA to deliver a top-class acceleration program. And as you mentioned, we've had an incredible turnout this year with over 200 startups. In fact, they applied from over 30 countries around Europe and even beyond Europe. And as you said, this year, the program was really structured to solve some critical challenges we're facing as we're coming out of post-COVID recovery. So we really put the challenge out there for startups to say, how can we better our cultivation of healthcare data and improve the management? How are we able to optimize patient screening, identify more patients earlier through diagnostics? And then also, how can we lead the way in digital therapeutics for disease management? So we had an amazing amount of startups put their ideas forward. And today we are very proud to showcase the 9 that participated in our comprehensive acceleration program. And just for those that have never been in an accelerator program or have an interest, if you're a new startup and you're listening to this initiative, as a participant, each startup benefited from substantial external mentorship, as well as the complex experience and guidance that has been offered from Roche. And the feedback that we've received from the startups in this program has been very encouraging for us. So just kind of like putting it back and just closing comments, you know, how am I feeling about healthcare innovation? Well, if we were to consider that these 9 startups are representative of the talent and innovation that we have in Europe, well, I think that we can all be very, very positive about the future of healthcare innovation in Europe. So thank you, Daryl, for the opportunity to give some opening comments.
Thank you very much for your thoughts. Thank you very much for your support. And I just want to underline this, that Healthcare Labs is a special accelerator program because it brings together experts, innovators, mentors, coaches, and as well investors. And the aim is really it's a clear purpose that this accelerator program have. So thank you very much. I mentioned 2 main partners. So now let me hand over to Balázs Füres, member of the management board, EIT Health, the main partner, Healthcare Lab, who will be online. Please welcome Balázs Füres. Balázs, once again, good afternoon, and quite the same question to you. How do you feel as a part of such interesting accelerator program?
Good afternoon, and thank you for the question and for the invitation. It's very important to be part of this initiative. So as Darren mentioned and stressed the importance partnership and ecosystem. That is our world and that is our mission, and we are glad to be involved and make it a tradition. So we are really happy to see this fast scale up, because open innovation is a hot topic, and it is not a coincidence, because companies are looking for innovative ideas and talents need access to hospitals and the companies. And the immediate feedback and validation are essential for the success. Otherwise, we would only have technology push ideas without market, and this is the number one failure in the life of the companies. So we are glad to be here. We are really committed to make it successful and a repeating program. And I really want to welcome all the participants in the program. I also want to thank Roche and CIVITTA for this program, Roche especially for this visionary proposal that we put together into practice. And I also want to thank for the team, because we have a dedicated team who worked hard together with the mentors to make this startup successful. So I wish you all a lot of luck. And also for the listeners, either you find a nice idea, start up a team, or you have the opportunity to apply in the future. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Balázs. And I will also want to underline that for sure, this 200 application, this is not a coincidence. So thank you very much. And last but not least, let's welcome Peter Kolesár, partner at CIVITTA Slovakia, the main organizer of HealthCare Lab. Please welcome Peter Kolesár. Good evening once again.
Hi, Daro.
A short question on you, because you are cooperating with different kind of accelerators. What is special on HealthCare Lab for you?
The core of every acceleration program are the founders. We have had very special founders in this program, so this is definitely one thing. It has been a joy for all our coaches and mentors, and for myself to interact with the amazing founders we have in the program. Another thing that's special, I think, is the international character of the program. So we had applications from 31 countries, and it truly is a pan-European accelerator. And last thing is the partnership of the public sector, of a global pharma leader and innovation experts from CIVITTA. So we have EIT Health, which is a leading European platform for healthcare innovators and healthcare innovations. We have Roche, which is a global biotech leader, and we have CIVITTA. And this partnership really makes it very special.
Thank you very much for your words. Thank you very much for your thoughts. Next thoughts about this evening.
Yeah, so today is the grand finale. It is the showcase of 9 startups that have participated in a 3-month-long program. The founders worked with some of the top healthcare experts in Europe and globally. They have gone through more than 120 hours of workshops, mentoring and coaching. And we really hope that HealthCare Lab has changed and will change their lives and will help bring their products and services to the market and to patients faster. And I would really like to thank the founders and the startups that have worked extremely hard over the past 3 months. Today is a very stressful evening for all of you, but you have already done an amazing job. So thank you and good luck today. We at CIVITTA, we want to serve as catalysts for the new economy. So we want to help innovators and innovations, be it in the public sector, in academia, in corporates, as well as startups. Because startups, we consider startups as agents of change. They are bringing solutions, often disruptive solutions, to some of the biggest challenges in our societies and our economies. And it is our obligation to help support the whole tech sector, help support startups. And what makes these startups grow faster are the unique partnerships. Is the partnership with the public sector, with large corporates, and this is where tech companies, this is where innovations thrive. And I'm so happy that in HealthCare Lab we managed to create this partnership, and so happy that these startups have gone a long way since the start of the program. And maybe one more thought at the very end, the thought that goes to our Ukrainian colleagues in CIVITTA, but also outside CIVITTA, in the tech world and outside of the tech world. We're thinking about you, we pray for you, and we really hope you will be able to rejoin life as normal very, very soon.
Peter, thank you very much. And I love also the passion that is inside every single startup. It's clearly there, and you will see it this night. And we promised a fruitful program this evening, and the fruitful program will continue with a very inspiring keynote speech by Padraic Ward, head of Roche Pharma International. So please welcome Padraic Ward. Padraic, good evening. The floor is yours.
Good afternoon, Darius. Thank you very much. Good evening, everybody who's listening to us. Darius, I have to say, that was a very kind introduction you gave me right at the beginning of the session. Nobody's ever called me a superstar before, but I'm going to make it a minimum requirement now for any time that anybody invites me to do something like this. Listen, it's a great pleasure to be here, and I won't take up much time because I know that you're all looking forward to the main event of the evening. I did bring a few slides along with me that I hope would be useful to illustrate this story. And if we could flick onto the first one for me, that would be great, or to the next one. This one. Now, Darius and everybody, I'm sure that there are people looking at this slide and thinking, groaning to themselves, thinking, I thought you said he was going to talk about the future. I thought you said that this was an innovative organization. So why is he showing us pictures from a story that we've heard 10,000 times before, and which anyway happened 60 years ago? Well, that would be a legitimate thing to think, but I did want to start here because I think there are a couple of lessons from this story, which is well known to all of us, which are completely relevant to what we are all trying to do together here today. Of the two lessons, one of them is a well-known and somewhat obvious one, and the other is a little bit less known and maybe not absolutely intuitive, but I do think it is even more relevant to the topic we have at discussion in this session today. If you go on to the next slide for me, please. The first one, the obvious thing, is having a bold vision is important when you're trying to do something that's big and meaningful. And the idea of sending a man or a human to the moon and then bringing them back safely again, the often forgotten second part of that ambition, was a good one. And it enabled people to mobilize resources, energy, and passion to get things done. We have one as well. Many organizations do, and I'm guessing that many of the startups that are represented in this meeting will have their own version of it. Here's what we're trying to do in the pharma division of Roche. What we're trying to achieve is by 2030 to bring 3 to 5 times more patient benefit to people around the world, and if that wasn't enough, and to do it all at a cost to society which is 50% less than it is now, right? So that's our bold vision. And we have some ideas as to how we might go about doing that. To get to the first part, the 3 to 5 times more patient benefit, that's fundamentally about, first of all, doubling medical advances. So bringing more meaningfully impactful, beneficial, and innovative medicines to patients around the world who need it, as well as significantly progressing other patient benefits that they get at the same time. So taking the same medicine and making sure that we develop it in other diseases, for example, or in different settings. So that's one half, and it's already a big deal because we're not talking about 3 to 5% more. We're talking about 3 to 5 times more patient benefit. But that's what we're really set out to do. And to do it at a 50% less cost to society. Now, you might say, well, that would be easy. You could do that by halving the prices. Actually, that wouldn't bring a 50% less cost to society because of the many other factors that are involved. we should talk about pricing for sure. But there are many other things that we could do that would be able to, would enable patients to get way more benefit and to do it at a lower cost to society. For example, as is noted on the slide, earlier, more targeted, more efficacious, shorter interventions, treatment interventions, would be a significant contributor to doing that. On the next slide, I just want to build up on a little bit on what Darren spoke about a few minutes ago. You might say that's a wonderful vision to have, a wonderful ambition to have. And, you know, what should make anybody believe that Roche might have a shot at achieving this? Well, it's going to be hard, and there's no guarantee that we will. But we do have a long track record of bringing innovation to patients who need it. The company has just celebrated our 125th anniversary. So the company was founded in Basel, where we're still headquarters, in 1896. We have over the years brought many medicines to patients, and there are 32 of them, 32 Roche medicines or medicines that came from Roche R&D who are on the WHO list of essential medicines. So big contributions that we've made over the years, and we're really proud of that. Roche is the #1 R&D private investor in R&D in healthcare, and we proudly invest something in the order of $15 billion a year in pharma and diagnostics R&D. There are about 100,000 of us, employees of Roche around the world. We're leader in diagnostics and in pharma. And also, as you see at the bottom of the slide, the question of sustainability is very important to us, sustainability in all its senses. So we have a track record, as everybody knows. Having had a track record before isn't a guarantee of success in the future, but we do have some strengths to build on, some experience to build on, and we are mobilizing resources to try and achieve that aim of 3 to 5 times more patient benefit at half the cost of society. How are we organized to do that? Well, if you'd be so kind as to put the next slide up, I can talk a little bit about how we get at this. As we said at the beginning, could have the next slide, please? As I said at the beginning, I am the head of the Roche Pharma International. We have a company which has 2 main divisions, a pharma division and a diagnostic division. Diagnostics under one roof does enable us to have a bigger impact than when those 2 things are separate. We work very closely together on many topics, trying to make sure that we're bringing really high quality, as early as possible, diagnosis to patients, and then make sure that they have great therapies available to them when they need it. That's most of the story, that while medicines and diagnostics are an integral part of both identifying patients and then making sure that we intervene in order to help them get better outcomes, there are other things that are important too. And I thought it would be useful to share with you a small story of at least one of the examples of how we're trying to do that, not necessarily on our own, but also in partnership. The example I want to talk about is a recent example in spinal muscular atrophy. It's a debilitating neurodegenerative disease. It's devastating, and infants with the SMA usually die before their 2nd birthday. Children, on the other hand, with type 2 or type 3, they can live very fulfilling and fulfill lives depending on the severity of the symptoms. Roche recently developed and then launched a medicine that brings a very meaningful change in the outcomes for patients with SMA. But we didn't stop there with that. Working together with external partners like you, with caregivers, with universities, with others, some of our colleagues developed an app which really helps to maximize the benefit of the treatment that the young patients get. It's designed for children typically between the age of about 4 and 7. And I have a like 1.5-minute video just to illustrate what that actually does. If you could play that for me, please. Doesn't matter how many times I see that clip, it always makes me smile. So that app was developed by Roche in partnership with Mini, and it's available on the App Store and will be soon on Google Play too. The next slide, please, begins to show why that example is important. In order to achieve the kind of vision and the ambition that we have, we come to the conclusion quickly that medicine's diagnostics very important for sure, but it's only if we begin to move away from a system that is very focused on a single intervention and thinks about treating people and then treating diseases on a more patient-centric way. Ideally, in many cases, even beginning to identify people before they become patients so that an intervention can take place to stop them ever needing a medicine. But more and more to try and diagnose patients early, to move away from something which is a one-size-fits-all intervention of diagnosis or medicine, and to begin to become more targeted. Now, we've been at this for about 20 years, and we do have some good examples of how that is possible. We do have some diseases where we've been able to characterize some biomarkers and then be able to develop medicines that target those specific biomarkers and make a difference to those patients and not to others with a similar disease. But more and more, what we're trying to do is develop an understanding of the underlying biology of disease using as meaningful data at a very large scale, together with advanced analytics, and then all the knowledge of disease biology that we have in-house and elsewhere, to come up with treatments that are more and more individualized. Then the whole healthcare system can become focused more on the patient than on the disease. But that's going to require that we continue to develop the kinds of things that we're only starting now. So it's a combination of diagnostics with medicines, with data, and with more. It can be done. It won't be easy, but it can be done. Our organization, on the next slide, is set up in a way that that allows the people who work here to focus on the things that we can do best. So just as we're trying to make medical interventions less one size fits all, so we have an organization which on the face of it can seem a little bit complicated, but which is designed to make sure that everybody who works here can bring their best selves and their best knowledge, their best motivation, their best passion to doing the things that they can do best. So we have 3 research and early development units. The Genentech unit, which is fundamentally based in the US, in San Francisco. We have Chugai, which is mostly based in Japan, and then the Roche organization centered on Basel. Those are our 3 research and early development groups. Sometimes they work separately, sometimes they work together, but their mission fundamentally is to follow the science and see where that leads us. Then we have a late stage in a commercial organization, product development, manufacturing, commercialization, part of the business that I work in, where we're trying to find ways of helping that science, that scientific knowledge, become a medicine. that patients can use. And then we have some smaller, recently added units that are bringing also very specialized knowledge and skills to that together. We have Foundation Medicine, which is a Boston-based unit that is a world leader in comprehensive genomic profiling of tumors. Flatiron Health, also on the East Coast of the US, in New York, where they're using more and more real-world data, both for research purposes and for helping healthcare systems to optimize their practices. And then we have Spark Therapeutics, a recently added group in Philadelphia that is a leader in gene therapy. We're not so arrogant that we believe that even with that complexity and all of those people, we know everything. We absolutely do not. And we do have a large group of people who are dedicated to finding and then managing partnerships with external organizations, many of which are very similar to yours. And that group is currently managing over 250 partnerships at the moment. On the next slide, please. I just want to go in a little bit more into the question of our valuing of external innovation. It would be very easy for me to say here and say we value external innovation, and you could quite reasonably say, can you show us the evidence of that? Well, I showed you a little bit before, but here's some more. We have agreements in 2021 alone. So in the year 2021 alone, we had 60 agreements covering a wide range of categories of things in a wide range of disease areas. So we're really serious about this, and we're ready and open to working with anybody, wherever they are, who is interested in sharing and contributing to the vision that we have set up. And so on the next slide, please, that sort of brings me back to where I started. The second lesson from that Apollo program that we often don't talk about, but which is very real, and that is it wasn't a single group who achieved that bold vision. It wasn't a single group that was able to figure out a way of bringing a human being to the moon and then back again safely. It was an exquisite, intense partnership of people from private industry, from academia, from government, who came together, all focused on the outcomes that they wanted to achieve and all bringing the best of what they could contribute together that allowed that mission that we all know as Apollo 11 to be successful. And I believe that that's what we need here as well. We need an ongoing, strong partnership between private industry, whether it be companies like Roche that have been around for a very long time, or startups like yours, and academia and government. If we all work together with our eyes on the same prize, bringing our own perspectives to the questions at hand, then I'm pretty sure that together we could deliver 3 to 5 times more medical innovation, and that we could do it at 50% lower cost to society. Thank you very much.
Padraic, thank you very much. Once again, I like your words like we are treating people, not treating diseases. And this is very important. But if you mind, before you go, I have 2 questions on you. And the first one, you partially mentioned it, but why is a multinational company like Roche is interested in supporting innovation in external environment?
Yeah, you know, it does come back to what I said a few minutes ago, and that is, well, I think it would be terribly arrogant of us to say that we can do everything, or that we know everything, or that we have all of the resources and all of the knowledge that is needed to achieve the kinds of ambitions that we have. We don't believe that. We believe that we do need to work together. We recognize the chief executive of Roche, Severin Schwan, is on record many times as saying 99% of innovation takes place outside Roche, even though Roche is the biggest private investor in healthcare R&D. And so we have that attitude that we do want to, and we always have worked with external partners. Yeah, and so it's just a very deep belief that we should contribute for sure, but that we definitely should be open to listening to ideas that come from elsewhere and to working in partnership with people who share our passion and want to pursue the same outcomes.
Yeah, passion is so important. And now maybe this is not so question, maybe it is more like the opportunity for you to send a message to early stage startups with the aim to change the healthcare, change the digitalization way of healthcare. What will be your thoughts? What will be this message?
Yeah, come work with us. And I don't necessarily mean come and work in Roche. You can do that too if you want to, but come partner with us. Look, I started working in Roche in 2004. Yeah, 2004, so 18 years ago. And there are things that we do now, like that story we saw a few minutes ago of the in SMA, the little video we saw. Those things, we couldn't do them 18 years ago. In fact, we couldn't even dream of doing those things 18 years ago. The reason that we're able not only to dream of them, but to do them is because of the fact that we have so many smart people working on so many different aspects with so many different perspectives on the challenges and the opportunities to improve healthcare. And so, I would say, I've never been an entrepreneur, but I admire those who are. And I would say to you, if you can, honestly say that what you're pursuing is something which is going to be excellent for patients, it's going to make a big difference for patients, that is going to contribute to the sustainability of healthcare systems around the world, which is really important, and it's going to be good for your organization, then you'd very much share the kind of vision that we have, and it would be brilliant to work with you.
Padraic Ward, the head of Roche Pharma International. Once again, thank you very much.
Thank you all.
And now the time has come to start the pitching. And I will call it maybe magic of the number 3, because we have 3 categories, 3 area of focus, 3 challenges. We have 3 startups per category. We have 3 minutes for every single startup to present their pitches. And we have 3 minutes for Q&A from the jury side. And the only question for me is how to explain that we have 4 jury members. So let's get in touch with our jury. And I will start with Erkki Mulder, co-founder, HealthCare Founders, supervisory board member of Riga East University Hospital, and a venture partner for Europe at Verge HealthTech Fund in Singapore. Good afternoon, good evening. Erkki, do you hear us? Maybe just unmute your mic if this is the problem. I hope that we can hear you. If not, we will fix it, and maybe let me, in this moment, move to Kfir Kahlon, founder and general partner of A&D Ventures, focused on the Israeli startup ecosystem, an early-stage angel investor. And for me, it's very interesting that I was told that you're taking active part in enabling the creation and development of rocket ships. Good afternoon. Can you tell us a little bit more about it? Yeah, we are still not hearing you, so maybe we are running some technical issues. But before continue, we come back to you, and we will introduce also Lee Lemon-Becker, the 3rd member of jury, and Tamás Békási, the 4th jury member. I hope it will work in a couple of seconds. But before we move to our pitches and before we move back to our jury, let me tell you that you are also welcome to vote, and to vote for your favorite, because there's also award, public award for our startups. So one startup can win the main prize, but also the public award. And to do so, it's very easy. You can vote via Slido, so just click on your browser, slido.com, and please use the hashtag HCL2022. Hashtag is HCL2022. I'm checking back to the jury if you can hear us. So, Erkki, can you say something, or just good evening to you? Anybody of you?
This is a test.
This is a test. This is not a test. This is a reality. So perfect. Lee.
Hi, everyone.
Hi. Nice to have you back. Nice to have you with the sound. So maybe I will start with Kfir, because I already put a question on you regarding this rocket ship development. If you are able to tell us something more, because it's interesting. Okay, so we don't have you. We will solve it out. But I see Lee, because I also hear you in a couple of minutes or a couple of seconds ago, and I hear about you that you are really passionate about patients. So my basic question is, what are you passionate most about?
I was really excited to hear the agenda for this session because it actually hit on the things that I find most exciting about working in digital and healthcare. The first is about finding earlier and more actionable ways to diagnose disease and to be able to do that in a way that we can actually get more people diagnosed earlier, so broader swaths of the population. The second is about ways that we can actually go beyond the pill and alter the course of a patient's disease using digital. Everything from new approaches to home monitoring to digital therapeutics. And lastly, creating deep insights from healthcare data.
Thank you very much. Now I try for the third time to talk with Kfir, because I want to know about rocket science, So please tell us some interesting details, if possible.
You guys can hear me now?
Yeah,
now it's
yeah,
good?
perfect. Yeah,
all
it
right.
works.
So fact is that I don't actually build rocket ships, but the entrepreneurs are, and I take pride of being that enabler for them with either capital that we raised or a good advice and a good shoulder to rely on when they are building their journey. I see ourselves as only the launching pad for the rocket. They need to build it. They need to fuel it with passion and with vision through their talent. So we are here as a backbone for the entrepreneurs, and that's one of my biggest joys in this career path, and fills me up every morning to come to the office and have fun.
Still passion. I love it. And now let me go back to Erki, because we start with Erki, and I hope we will hear each other. And the question on you,
Yeah,
hi. Some startups are a little bit scared of you because we know that you were a jury member of Ajujaht, the Estonian version of TV show Shark Tank. So what kind of jury you are, in fact?
I think let the startups decide on that. I have been really fortunate on seeing the health tech field in very different perspectives, from the hospital, from the startup, from the investor, and from the governmental agency supporting the innovation. So I think that what the startups might be afraid of is the sharp questions related from all of these four areas. So let's see.
Yeah, let's see. You are right. And last but not least, Tamás Békási, Regional Innovation Scheme Business Creation Manager at EIT Health InnoStars. Good evening to you as well. And
good evening.
My question, you have a large portfolio of startups, and is there any one you are most proudly of?
Wow, it's a really hard question, because in every year we are supporting around 300 to 400 startups, and we are really proud of that. Actually, approximately 70% of our startups are landing on the market. So that's, first of all, a pretty nice success, mostly coming from the startups, of course, and we are really proud of that we can support them. If I need to name them, I mean, some of them, first of all, there are two startups, I won't name them, but they are our alumni and now participating in the best 9 of HealthCare Lab. Because of the competition, of course, I will not name them. But besides them, let me just give you 3 different examples coming from different sectors and yes, let's say orientation. So first of all, a biotech company, Uvera, it's a Polish company, made a huge success during the years. They already got huge investments, also public funds coming from EIT Health, also from the EIC Institute, and most importantly, they're about to revolutionize the sun care, what we know today. So they have a wonderful wonderful product and really strong team, and they made a huge success and expansion throughout the last 3 years. Another one, Patch AI, it's an Italian team. They are actually supporting pharmaceutical companies to keep people in the clinical trials. So actually the acquisition, not just from the acquisition, but also from the retainment of the clinical trial patients, they have a really significant role. They got large international contracts. They actually started their journey 3 years ago, and just recently they got a really recent success story because they have been acquired by Alira Health, a US company. And the third one is a Hungarian company, really recent. They actually participated in one of our early stage startup program called InnoStars Awards. They are upper cell, and just in 1 year they had a huge investment. They already launched their product on the market, and they got huge successes already. So but these are just 3 names, and this is just coming from the top of my head because again, 70% of our startups who are participating in early stage programs are launching their product on the market, getting into the more mature startup programs, not just in the EIT Health portfolio, but also in other accelerator programs. And they are, writing the history. So our proud and our success rate is how we can contribute in their success. Of course, again, this is their success, but we are really happy that we can somehow contribute and support their way. Thank you for that.
Thank you very much, Tamás. I think that you are a lucky guy because you are in touch with innovation every day. This is amazing. This is amazing.
Yes. And this is, if we just touch the motivation, so what is boosting us, this is definitely it is. So seeing how much really promising products, how much solutions can really help people all over the world. Now that's the portion.
Once again, thank you very much. This is the jury. My dear jury, please stay tuned because in a few moments you will hear 9 pitches, very interesting pitches. And with that, I'm opening the first challenge, and the first challenge is healthcare data management. Big data, I mean, this is a topic that every type of industry are serving, that every type of industry is talking about, except healthcare, because in healthcare, we are still many fragmented data, many fragmented data from different sources. So there is a problem. And how to address the problem, this is a question of our next startups, 3 startups. And tonight, we will start with OncoChain from Romania.
We started this company because we experienced firsthand the problem with fragmented data as doctors doing our clinical practice and research. We treated patients with gynecological cancer and we discovered a big gap in patient journey. And now because of advanced technologies, we can tackle these challenges and have a positive impact in patients' lives. Of course, we had a lot of barriers to overcome. It is a constant process of training, of generating new solutions to daily issues. But our pain is so strong and real that we are able to combat them as soon as they appear. So we are flexible, eager to learn, able to adapt and find the right people that can join our team and help us deliver the big vision that we share. We benefited from this extraordinary program, HealthCare Lab, in different ways. The courses provided were extremely useful and adapted to our current needs, and every mentor that we had contact with was extremely eager to understand our challenges and provide sincere advice that already generated first results. I don't have a favorite food from Romania. I'm more into testing and experiencing flavors from different cultures. I would say moussaka, but actually it has Turkish origins behind. Digital health is a growing market that continues to hold enormous promise for patients, but also for the entire healthcare system. The well-known statement of value-based care will not remain only a promise, but instead it will be based on real patients' outcomes from real life and will actually offer patients a tailored and personalized approach in their care.
Roxana, good evening. I will once again repeat our rules. So you will have 3 minutes for your speech and then 3 minutes for Q&A from our journey. Are you okay? Are you ready?
Yes.
Perfect. The countdown starts right now.
Hello, we are OncoChain, the company that brings data to life in oncology. This is my colleague Madeleine searching data for his PhD in breast cancer. Unfortunately, most of clinical data is fragmented and not connected, and medical staff are still using tons of papers for monitoring patients who suffer from cancer. Only 3% of medical data is used for R&D at this moment. Can you imagine the benefits of using all this data for drug discovery? But to unlock the full potential of data, we must resolve the problem from scratch. So we collect, standardize, and analyze data in a GDPR-compliant manner. OncoChain transforms unstructured data to structured data that can be used in clinical research. In order to perform this data abstraction, we used oncology professionals helped by an entire suite of technologies, such as NLP, Quantum Ledger database by Amazon. For data visualization and analysis, we developed the OncoChain platform that upskills clinical research capabilities and reduces the burden of tumor board preparation for oncology professionals. This is a snapshot of the OncoChain platform for physicians. They have access to the patient's timeline that shows all relevant episodes and details about the tumor characteristics, such as staging and molecular profile. Analytics integrated in the platform offers physicians valuable insights in order to provide more precise, evidence-based treatment. In a nutshell, OncoChain is offering advantages for all stakeholders, for healthcare providers, research opportunities, for pharma companies, access to anonymized aggregated analytics, and for patients, improved treatment outcomes. This collaboration model works, as we already achieved 18 partnerships with oncology hospitals and institutes, 6 co-creation workshops with pharma companies, and most important, we succeeded to sign research contracts with 2 of them. Our offering for healthcare providers using OncoChain is free if anonymized aggregated data sharing is permitted. If not, we offer a SaaS model with monthly subscription fees. For pharma companies, we generate revenue from real-world data research contracts, a business model already validated. Healthcare analytics is a 12 billion euro market that is also growing at a rapid pace of 28% per year. Looking at our competition, we succeeded to implement in Europe the American model that already proved its value, of course, by adapting the product and the business model to the European regulations and challenges. We have achieved important milestones in 2021. We raised a pre-seed. In the next month, we plan to expand to other markets, European and far emerging, and raise a bigger round early next year. We are a strong and multidisciplinary team of doctors, IT specialists, business from the industry. We know the problems of the medical system firsthand, and we are here to solve them together. At this moment, we are in the process of scaling, so we need reliable partners from the industry. Join us in this incredible journey to help doctors treat cancer in a smart way.
Roxana, thank you very much. You were precise and hope you are not in stress because you were the first startups. Are you ready for the questions?
Yes. And yes. I have my colleague here because that was our deal to answer.
It can be helpful. Now I'm turning to our jury. If you are ready, just give me a signal. Yeah, I've got the signal. Perfect. So 3 minutes for your question starts right now.
Yeah, if it's okay for me to go first. So I liked everything you do about the unstructured data going to structured. One of the biggest problems in healthcare today is how data is unstructured. But what's the go-to market on that? Like, how are you gonna convince institutions, doctors, clinics, to work with your platform?
Roxana?
Yes, so we have partnerships in Romania at this moment, but we are in the middle of scaling. So we offer the platform for free because it's a research tool that helps them in so many ways with all the features we developed. And more than that, if they are willing to share data in an aggregated, anonymized way, they even get reimbursed for this data usage. So they have all the advantages to use it, because they can perform multicentric studies, connect to the network of researchers, perform online tumor boards. So they have a lot of advantages.
So we do a direct sales approach. We make a demo for the most important stakeholder inside the hospital. That can be the manager, the lead researcher there. So we do it directly. We do direct sales for now.
Yeah.
As we get the institution, it's very important to do that.
Thank you. Next question, please.
If I may continue. So just a quick question. You're about to expand your activity outside of Romania. So usually there is a vertical and a horizontal challenge here. So first of all, how can you build up your team? And the other is that, of course, you're approaching other cultures, other environments. So what do you think? If you just need to summarize in 3 main pillars, what are the criteria you want to hit?
Short answer, please.
How are you preparing for this?
Yeah, we'll probably have a local representative, a life sciences and healthcare partnership manager. That's the model we have now in Romania. And that person will go and talk with every important institute in each country. And the problem is strangely the same. The data, unstructured data is everywhere the same, and we'll probably have to adapt to the language. We train models for the specific language, and of course the GDPR compliance is everywhere in Europe, but there are some specific local aspects regarding data protection in every country's law. So we'll do some small changes in the consent management system we have.
Yeah. Last question from Erki.
Yes, thank you. So my question is that are you just a neutral platform provider, or shall you analyze the data yourself as well?
We also analyze the data ourselves, yeah. So do everything from the beginning, from the collection, we standardize the data and we analyze the data. We do everything. This complete package is the model.
Thank you very much for this time. This was OncoChain. And now let's move to Poland, because the next startup is called UpMedic.
Well, it actually all started with our founder's neighbor who is radiologist and who was complaining about the overload of bureaucratic tasks involved in her workday. Our founders, who are both programmers, decided that they could really help her with their skills, and that's how it all started. Numerous ways. We started the program with a lot of questions, and we are finishing it with very specific answers and a lot of ideas for the solutions to our problems. That's a tough question, but I would say Żurek. President of Poland. Well, I would say digitalized, human-centered, patient-friendly, and very efficient. And well, definitely using UpMedic.
Future President of Poland. I like it, Sofia. Good afternoon, good evening. Are you ready? Are you ready for your 3-minute speech?
Yes, I believe you see my screen, so if that's correct, then I'm ready.
Yes, everything is correct. So your 3 minutes starts right now.
Thank you. Hi, I am Sofia, the CEO of UpMedic. We are a startup based in Poland, and we believe that supporting faster diagnosis means enabling faster treatment. It all started with the neighbor radiologist of UpMedic founders who was complaining that mundane and time-consuming tasks fill her workday, but still patients, including the ones with serious diseases, need to wait more than a month for their diagnosis, which could mean a life or death difference for them. We found out it wasn't an isolated case. Actually, the average waiting time for imaging test results is more than 30 days, for example, in Poland or in UK, while 66% of radiologists' time is devoted not to patients, but to paperwork and reports creation. We decided to automate most of the bureaucratic part of diagnosis by the use of structuring, NLP, and machine learning. Our solution consists of two components: intelligent medical documentation creator and business intelligence for medical data. In our intelligent medical documentation creator, we got rid of typing on keyboard by the use of structured templates that act like a checklist, making sure that with just few clicks, every organ visible in the image is correctly described using standardized terminology. The tests run with our clients showed a 70% reduction in time necessary to prepare a head MRI report. How is that possible? Well, our clients can write up to 1,000 characters per minute thanks to our checklist approach and text structuring. Additionally, our editor is also gathering structured data about patients, which enables big data analysis and automated decision-making, so that later on meaningful information can be retrieved and visualized thanks to our healthcare intelligence component. The speed is undoubtedly a major benefit of Apmedic, but what our clients also value a lot is our state-of-the-art structured voice recognition mobile app and our easy integration. We offer a unique and comprehensive set of features useful for clinicians, and all this has been already tested on the Polish market. Moving to business model, we use the pay-per-document approach. During HCL, we tested different assumptions, but this one proved to be the most appreciated one by our B2C and B2B clients. And speaking about business, as you can see, we attack a rapidly growing market. But thanks to HCL, we had an opportunity to improve particular elements of our strategy to get to this market. As you can see, last year, we obtained our pre-seed investment. In Q1 this year, thanks to HCL, we got in touch with international radiological organizations, key opinion leaders, and we polished our system. Next month, we will be working on integrations, obtaining a utility patent, and expanding to new specializations and markets. So in autumn, we will be closing our second investment round. Last but not least, our great asset is also our team with complementary skills and experience from IT, medicine, and business. We're looking for business partners, investors, and healthcare facilities to run pilots with. So feel free to contact us. Thank you.
Short and clear, quicker than 3 minutes. I'm wondering what kind of question the jury will have. This time starts right now. 3 minutes for you. And we start with Lee.
Thanks so much for a really good pitch, Sophia. I'm curious about how much customization is required at the individual healthcare facility level, and if there is customization, how you plan to be able to address that within scale.
Well, actually, within our program, there is a lot of there are special features that enable customization on the customer level. So we can do it both ways. Sorry, I get distracted with seeing my face here. But yeah, so there are both ways. Like one thing is that during our onboarding, we have group sessions with the doctors from a given healthcare facility. So then we can also adjust a little bit the system to their needs, but also we teach them how to adjust it to their particular needs.
Next question, please.
Yes, thank you. So I have two questions, actually. Data quality and regulatory pathway. Do you have to certify your product?
No, actually, we don't need to certify it. We were checking it also thanks to participation in HCL. We checked it before and we were pretty sure we don't need it, but then we made sure we don't need any kind of CE marking, for example, since we don't actually, make a decision for a doctor. We just make him be faster in writing down his decision. And well, regarding data quality, I'm actually like the best option here would be our CEO to reply to this question. But well, we do focus, we started as a programmers company. Let's say our founders used to have software house before. So data quality is our, let's say, one of our main focuses. So this was also the idea that this whole pack of data, which is like gold in these times, is sorted, is taken care of, is etiquetted, so tagged, so that later on it can be easily analyzed.
Who will be the next jury?
If I can, so regarding the business side, so you've shown us that what is pretty much your expectation, what are your short-term plans, and you've shown us that from the product development perspective, what are your next steps, what are your first steps, let's say, from the commercialization point of view. So you have the product, you already have some trial partners, you have the business model, but how would you like to approach, and who would you like to approach in the upcoming steps?
Sure. So actually, we also do have our first clients, few individual B2C clients, which are teleradiologists, and one network of clinics from one of the major Polish cities, which is our B2B client. So these are these were our initial focuses: B2B, B2C, individual doctors and healthcare facilities. But actually, also thanks to HealthCare Lab, but also thanks to participation in different fairs for medical equipment and software. We saw the potential in, for example, medtech startups as our clients, since we deal with structuring the data, the text. So this gives us a lot of opportunities.
Sophia, thank you very much. I think it doesn't matter if you are started from an IT company or any other type of company. Important is the idea, and there are lots of beautiful ideas, and it is also the case of our last startup in this category, a startup that is preventing errors in radiotherapy treatments, and this, for me, sounds like saving lives. Welcome, Braidos from Lithuania.
Hi, my name is Neringa, and to start the Braidos company, the main motivator was to bring the impact for cancer patients, more than 200 million of them every year. To overcome challenges, we trust on teamwork, positivity, and goodwill and good work together. We've got valuable contacts for our business plan creation and also great feedback from Roche company and EIT Health specialists. We should win because we have the best solution for a radiotherapy market. We are ready to change the standard of care, and who dares wins. When I was a kid, I wanted to become a fighter jet pilot, like in American movies, and save the world.
Yeah, save the world. I like it also. Neringa, good afternoon. Are you ready? My basic question.
Yeah, sure. Always ready.
Fingers crossed for you, and your 3 minutes starts right now.
So I'm Neringa from Braidos, and Braidos is a medical device made to help oncology doctors to prevent most common cancer treatment errors in radiotherapy procedures. So I've been working as a medical physicist for more than 8 years in various international projects, and I've seen many of my colleagues, oncology doctors, frustrated and unsatisfied with the cancer treatment outcomes. And in radiotherapy, we use radiation to kill the cancer cells, but it also damages healthy organs. So it ends up into painful wounds for a cancer patient. It extends treatment time. It increases overall treatment costs by 300% for radiotherapy departments. To solve this, we made Braidos. It's in a shape of flexible tube. It's inserted near to a tumor before the procedure, and it collects 10 times more data than solutions used these days. And this data set is needed to significantly improve the treatment plan and prevent treatment errors for breast, cervical, prostate cancer cases. So we aim to help patients to leave a hospital faster, to save doctors' time and reduce the overall treatment costs. So we offer 100% personalized solution, easy to use, easy to implement. And while radiotherapy is done in more than 150 countries, we are targeting more than 1,000 hospitals first in Europe. So we will provide disposable tubes, data scanner, which retrieves the data from these tubes, and data management system for our target market. And we can earn more than 100 million net revenue annually. And if we scale to external radiotherapy, we can get additional 700 net revenue additionally. So now we have prototype, and we will have first in human, first in patient studies this April.
at the National Cancer Institute, and we will get a CE marking, first implement our solution into Lithuanian hospitals, and then scale to Germany and France. There we have our first adopters and business partners. So this is our team. We are medical device engineers. We are data specialists. We are working together with our clinicians, business creation partners from Lithuania, Estonia, United Kingdom, France, and Germany. And we are looking for a co-founder partner who is experienced in German business, in medtech. And in Brachydos, we have a mission to provide the best possible treatment for every patient in every hospital. Join us and bring the huge impact for 200 million cancer patients. So I'm Neringa from Brachydos, and I'm extremely happy to answer your questions.
Okay. If you are ready, then I turning on our jury and asking for the first question, and your time starts right now. Who will be the first one? Start with Erkki.
Yeah, nice to meet you again, Neringa. So my question is about the scalability of your business. Digital health company, scalability, very easy. What about your challenges and ambitions here?
As having a hardware and a software with this kind of hardware, we plan to scale to external radiotherapy, which actually does 80% of all radiotherapy procedures. And also during this accelerator program, we found one new way where to use or to scale our devices, clinical trials, where clinical trials are done to find out if everything's going good in a complex radiotherapy and pharma therapy for cancer patients.
Thank you very much. Kfir was also raising his hand, so please, your question.
Yeah, I think Erkki took some of my question, but regarding a medical device and getting FDA and CE approvals, where are you on that? Or have you put any plan in place? And how long do you think it will take for your startup to achieve?
So now we'll start first in human, first in patient studies at the National Cancer Institute in Lithuania. We'll collect the data which is needed for CE marking for about 3 to 6 months, and we'll start the CE marking procedure. So from now we'll take about 10 to 12 months to get the CE marking, but we have regulatory partners on this, which helps us to do it faster and more efficient.
Next question, please. Tamas.
Yes, so hi Neringa. You already have a really nice support from your local market, local institutes, and you've shown us that first of all you're about to explore the German market, and you have some experts from foreign markets where of course you don't have the local support. Let's say, do you have any feedback so far? Because of course oncology is a really conservative field of medicine, especially on the innovation side. So, did you have any feedback so far from the foreign market, especially from the German market, about your product?
Yes, we do. We developed this solution with the Heidelberg University Hospital specialists. So we first got the feedbacks from them, and we also do good work with the Estonian Health Medical Center, which also provides us all possible feedback, with also the French region, Paris region, which is called Medicine Paris region. So they hold a lot French Paris region hospitals. So we collect data.
Thank you.
Neringa, thank you very much. And saying that, we are closing the first challenge and opening the second one. And I think if you ask any physician about prevention, about screening, I think all of them will answer that, yes, prevention and screening can save lives. And this is the second category. This is the second challenge, screening and early diagnostics. And let's move to our first startup in this category with the name Ponstech from Turkey/US.
The reason why we started Pons is to improve the quality of life for all, regardless of their location or income, so that nobody has to say goodbye to their loved ones too early because of preventable diseases. As soon as we see the impact that we are creating with our technology on people's lives, it helps us to overcome our challenges. And we participated in healthcare labs this year. And one of the biggest advantages that we had is to access to executives and decision makers that can help us to optimize our roadmap. With Pons, we are changing how medical imaging will be performed in the near future. And that's the reason why we should win and change the healthcare accessible. And my favorite food is, to be honest, Asian food, and especially sushi. What we see the future in healthcare is being distributed, accessible, and affordable for everyone. Instead of having centralized hospitals, the future will be having smaller hubs and make the healthcare more accessible for everyone.
Sonar, good evening. I think we have the same favorite food, sushi. Sushi. I like sushi.
Yes, the best.
Are you aware about our rules, 3-minute rules?
Perfect. No problem. I am all set.
All set. So your countdown starts right now.
Hi, I'm Sonar from Pons, and we are converting the traditional ultrasound technology to become a consumer product. 40% of the readmissions are happening because patients cannot follow up regular visits and discharge orders. Especially patients living in rural areas or low to mid-income communities don't have access to regular visits. And that is even a bigger problem globally because 5 billion people don't have access to decent healthcare. And 70% of that population is women or children. And we want to change that. That is how we approach the problem. We are developing an ultra-mobile ultrasound probe that you can directly connect with your laptop or tablet and start scanning your body. And the rest is done through the software. The system starts analyzing how the medical image is assessed and starts isolating the tissues. It creates the risk assessment on the tissue for the doctor so that the doctor has a clear vision on the image as well. And we also have right now an AI integrated navigation feature, which is navigating the end user on how to use the probe. And that is how we envision the value proposition. Instead of having central hospitals, we are focused on creating these decentralized medical imaging hubs so that the primary care and preventive care can be performed anywhere and instantly. And we are especially focused on women's health, starting with breast cancer and endometriosis, and then moving into other fields like internal medicine, sports medicine, so that we can provide our technology so that it can be used on the field as well. And we have a really simple business model, which is two models, which is a subscription model that you pay as you scan, but also we are right now licensing our technology to companies like pharmacies, pharmacy chains, or pharmaceutical companies. And our approach is to generate 10 million scans by the end of 2025. And that's the traction that we have. We have done over 1,000 scans with 150 patients in New Jersey. Our system achieved 90% accuracy, and we have 1 IP and 2 pending IP applications. And that's the team that makes it happen. We have over 30 years combined experience in medical technologies. And my twin brother is also a professor at Rutgers and leading the smart surgeries and diagnostics labs. And we also have great advisors and partners that are supporting our journey. And we start collaborating with Roche 3 months ago. We have done a lot of meetings with them, and especially we find out that another niche market and customer segment will be the disabled people that we also would like to provide our technology as well. And we are Pons. We would like to make change in the healthcare system and make this decent healthcare accessible to everyone. And if you are as excited as we are, please support us. Thank you very much.
Sonar, thank you very much. I noticed that you have a rocket ship in your presentation, so I hope there will be a question from Kfir as well. So I'm turning to our journey and asking for next 3 minutes question round, starting with, just raise your hand please, and starting right now. Who will be the first? Lee.
So I first and foremost want to applaud you for taking a step in this direction. This is critically important as we think about getting healthcare out into other markets beyond the big markets. I'm wondering how you're planning to handle distribution of the actual products as well as the training component for the people using the products.
Yeah, especially right now, we like the whole business model that we have is focused on developing strategic partnerships with pharmacies, pharmaceutical companies, but also with insurance companies, so that we can provide our technology to those developing countries, but also in the US, like for low to mid-income communities, and also in that part, especially our focus will be to develop these distributed hubs, and with the AI-driven navigation that we have implemented into our technology, will help. The system will train the end users on how to use those props, no matter what their background is.
Who will be the next? Yes, Erki.
Yeah. So have you thought about changing your business model to more closer to value-based care solutions?
Yeah, that's a great question, because the whole system is, as you said, will make into value-based. So that is the business model actually that we are right now integrating into, and especially the reason why we trying to partner up with those retail health centers or mobile healthcare teams, so that especially primary care will be given to outpatients instantly as well. So that is our primary goal right now, to move from volume into value-based care.
Any other question? Yes, Kfir, please.
Short one. It reminds me very much of a HealthCare. I don't know if you know the company that does a telemedicine device, very consumer product at the end of the day. Are you thinking about doing it in a consumer approach, and what would be the target price for a unit? How expensive would it be, and who will own it?
So we are definitely looking for those kind of partnerships that we can do partner up, and especially from the consumer. So we would like to bring the ultrasound to the consumers. And in that case, we say they don't need to buy the device. They just can subscribe to the system. We will provide the system as a kit. They can use it at their home, and then that's it. So they will have different packages according to the number of scans they need. And then they will be subscribing to the system, and that's it. They don't need to do upfront investment.
Last question, please.
So what's the price point of the device?
It will be like $20 per scan, and according to the number of scans you will pay. If you have 10, then you will pay accordingly. So just pay your scan.
Thank you very much. Right on time. Thank you, Soner. And let's move to Bulgaria, because the next startup has the name Kelvin Health.
Kelvin Health actually started as a spin-out from another company, and we kind of felt the call of duty to apply this kind of experience in new area, in the area of medical, digital healthcare, in our case, mobile thermography. HCO has been a great experience with a lot of useful webinars, one-on-one mentoring sessions, exchanging experience with other founders, and maybe very importantly, getting an insight right from the heart of Roche via our so-called Roche buddies. I think that all of the startups are actually winning right now, and we actually serve great causes, we develop amazing products. We are also getting better and better, all of us, at pitching, so I'm very enthusiastic to see how the tailwinds will be on the 6th. I'm actually vegan, so I'm not sure I'm the best person to answer this question, but we actually have an inside joke about a dish called sarma, which is actually cabbage leaves stuffed with rice and sometimes meat. I believe the future of healthcare is much more automated, much more efficient, empowering the patient and empowering the doctor to provide better healthcare and to receive better healthcare.
Georgi, good afternoon. In the pre-recorded video, we heard that you are better and better in pitching. So, can we take it, taste it?
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, so are you ready?
Yeah, yeah.
Perfect. Your 3 minutes starts right now.
Our mission with Kelvin Health is to make preventable death and suffering from conditions like limb ischemia and breast cancer, think of the past, by applying the power of mobile thermography and AI. In 2018, shortly before my son was born, my wife and I were devastated when her father, Hugh, nearly lost his leg because of late diagnosed peripheral arterial disease. More than 200 million people worldwide suffer from PAD, and each year about 20 million, which is more than the average population of European country, develop critical limb ischemia. Condition that first takes your leg, then kills you in less than 5 years in almost half of the cases. Patients with diabetes like Hugh are at the highest risk, but ironically, the hardest group to diagnose because of the typical arterial calcification and higher tolerance to pain. So 18 months ago, we asked ourselves, would it be possible to create a powerful diagnostic solution as patient-friendly as Hugh's family doctor or even his wife taking a thermal image? Using a mobile camera like this, we can capture the local body temperature, detect anomalies, and notify the specialist in case of a problem. The reason this is possible is that the local body temperature is directly related to blood flow, and there's a limited amount of factors that can affect it, such as inflammation or blockage. With enough samples to train a precise AI model and applying it frequently, we can achieve at the end very precise diagnostic process. There are multiple therapeutic areas that are very natural for application of mobile thermography AI, and we joined forces with the leading cardiovascular surgeon, Professor Ivo Petrov, to explore the first one in depth. Together with his team, we saw that Kelvin Health can be as telling about severe blood flow problem as the very invasive gold standard of X-ray angiography. As you can see on the screen, severe blockage below the knee line of the patient is visible by both methods. We also apply the method for efficient monitoring for revascularization therapy. So encouraged by these discoveries, we decided to start building Kelvin Health as a solution that empowered the efficient and frequent screening and monitoring of cardiovascular conditions, and basically can turn anyone into the vascular doctor house who can detect complex functional symptoms that other methods would miss. To build it, we combined the team with expertise in AI, regulatory, medical, and business development affairs. We are right now creating a unique thermal imaging data set in partnership with 3 hospitals, and in less than 6 months, we were able to collect more than 800 thermal images. Once we got regulatory approval, we start penetrating the Middle East market, where unfortunately diabetes is very prevalent, offering the device at cost to specialists who pay fee per examination, and then adding more therapeutic areas and empowering the patient who will pay themselves or via their medical insurance. If you also believe that a true unicorn company should positively affect the lives of billion people, we are happy to join forces and help save the limbs and lives of people like you together.
Georgi, thank you very much. Very inspirational also for me. And now I'm again turning to our jury and searching for the first question. Who will be the first one? Yeah, Kafir, go on, please.
Yeah, always the first one to jump, right? Question about, I saw in one of the pictures that you want to use the smartphones. What smartphone do you want to use that has a sensor to get thermal imaging? Is that like something you hope that will be eventually down the line a smartphone that has those kind of sensors?
Yeah, so currently, actually, the camera is an external device that is attached to your phone. And basically, you need this device to capture the thermal heat of the body. There are tendencies in some phones that have cameras installed in them, and we believe that this is the long-term vision. But basically, with such portable and affordable device, you can see in real time the heat of the body. This is Sphere 1 Pro, to be precise.
Thank you. Understood.
Next question. Yeah, Lee, please.
Is there a way to record the image and then the progression of the temperature differences over time so that you could monitor changes, either for the patient or for the doctor?
Absolutely. This is one of the main parts of the value proposition, especially like monitoring the progression if you're in a risk group, or monitoring the therapy effectiveness if, let's say, you do a procedure and you want as a vascular or endovascular surgeon understand if it's working. So definitely, yes, and this is a huge part of the value proposition.
So it actually is able to, you can go back and compare how something's changing over time. There's a capture function?
Yeah, absolutely. That's our core expertise in image recognition. So we match the images, we can make differences, contrast differences, etc.
Erkki, please. Erkki.
Yeah, thank you. What about the data accuracy in the other areas besides diabetes?
So currently we are focused on peripheral arterial disease and critical limb ischemia, which are more like a byproduct from diabetes. But the other second area is breast cancer. There are some certain types of cancer that are very visible, where metabolism is in the first place, but other where calcification is in presence are not that accurate. Still, we decided to first focus on vascular because there the application is just spot on, and this is a big enough problem and a market as a consequence of that.
Thank you. Is there any other question?
Tamas?
Everything is super clear, and I would go for the scalability, honestly. But you pretty much cover this topic. But if we just touch, so yeah, I hardly touch this topic. So let's go further with it. From, of course, diabetes is the first station. But what are your further steps? And of course, it's triggers a lot of challenges and opportunities at the same time. But how do you see yourself from the next step?
Yeah, so we want to be a household device. Basically, all of us have this in a few years in our homes, and I believe this is possible because we are currently adding breast cancer, which is very socially significant, rheumatoid arthritis, skin problems, etc. But we do believe a lot of areas will benefit from that. Thank you.
Georgi, thank you very much. This is also my dream to have a diagnostic center in my cell phone. Imagine it could work in the future. Hope so. And now let's go to the last startup in our current category. And I would like to welcome ELM Genomics from Turkey.
We are planning to colonize Mars, yet we are still not screening people that we could screen to save lives and prevent lifetime damages, although we have the technology. This is our motivation as ELM Genomics. HealthCare Lab showed us our mistakes and taught us to organize ourselves and stay focused on our main product with higher value. This was really crucial for us. My favorite food is içli köfte. It literally translates as stuffed meatball. It's a ball made of bulgur wheat stuffed with spicy meat. It's amazing if you have ayran with it. I literally wanted to become what I used to call a DNA engineer. And literally 20 years down the line, I own a patent now for a CRISPR enzyme that can engineer DNA. This is what it's being used for now.
Ibrahim, good evening.
Hello. Hey, how are you? Good evening.
Good evening. I think the next batch of HealthCare Lab should be in present and we should taste all the favorite meals because I couldn't imagine how the taste looks like. But don't talk about dishes anymore. Please, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
If you are ready, then your 3 minutes starts right now.
Hello, everyone. ELM Genomics is a healthcare analytics startup producing genetic tests for screening and early diagnostics with the goal of early intervention. I am Ibrahim. I completed my PhD studies at Harvard University with a strong molecular biology and genetics background. Murad has strong biostatistics and bioinformatics skills. Harun is a postdoc with human biochemistry background. Serkan is a venture builder with proven success track. So what are the problems our product is solving? Almost 1 in 2 people in the United States suffers from at least one chronic diseases. And on top of that, there are more than 300 million people worldwide suffering from rare genetic diseases. Half of them are children, and unfortunately, 30% of them will not survive to see their 5th birthday. The main problems are the current insufficient newborn screening programs, which miss many actionable genetic conditions that can lead to premature child death, permanent mental and physical damages. And in parallel, majority of the chronic disease that I just mentioned are due to bad lifestyle decisions that can be changed. These combined leaves the parents and the health system under economical pressure. Our complementary solution is genetically screening the newborns for the actionable conditions and lifestyle traits using the sensitive and accurate next-generation DNA sequencing technology. Once we get the baby's genetic information, we show our customers disease and lifestyle tendencies at the same time over our online DNA app called Genopics. This allows our customers from childhood to get personalized consultation based on their DNA. We are bringing thus the nature and nurture together. Let's see how it works. A cheek swab undergoes DNA sequencing. Our algorithm analyzes the raw data and generates the final report. We have multiple revenue channels, including MRR, monthly recurring revenue. Our B2B channels are the diagnostic centers, hospitals, and doctor offices. There's a significant market in genetic newborn screening. However, there are no big players in Minor Asia and Middle East. We maintain our competitive advantage with our lifelong DNA app and ethnicity-based analysis. We are heading towards a future where every newborn is going to be DNA sequenced. US and UK already have allocated billions of dollars for pilot testing. Turkey recently, for the first time, made a genetic screening mandatory for SMA disease before marriage, showing the trend for future. Digital health market was $150 billion in 2020 and is growing rapidly. Our analysis algorithm has already successfully identified a 23-days-old baby from China with methylmalonic acidemia and 2 babies as carriers for cystic fibrosis and argyrinemia. Help us save and protect children with rare genetic diseases. Join us on our journey by forging partnerships with us and investing in us. Thanks a lot, and I'll be happy to take any questions if you have.
Thank you very much. You are the quicker.
Cool.
Or quickest, as we can imagine.
I speak fast.
Yes, but your pitches was full of information. And now I'm also turning back to our jury and asking who will be the first. Tamás, please, go ahead.
Hi, Ibrahim. So thank you for the presentation. Probably you recognized, and of course you know me already, that I'm heavily interested in the business part of each and every project because, leading to the market, it's halfway through the business part. So I see your project is really heavy from the scientific point of view, and of course your product is wonderful. What about the business part? So I saw the business model, but I'm more interested in the life realistic steps you are actually about to plan. So how would you like to move to potential partner? Actually, how would you like to achieve the market?
Yes, that's a great question. Thanks a lot, Tamás. So initially we're aiming for the target audience we're aiming is for out-of-pocket payments due to obvious ROI and insurance long-term goals. But our go-to-market is well established. Like we have customers and partners ready to go in Turkey, especially. We have multiple genetic diagnostic centers, our B2B partners and clients that we are working with because we're a software analysis company. And we have outsourced next-generation DNA sequence data outsourcing B2B partners in Germany, Seagate and LifeBrain's Genomics. So for Turkey, everything is all set. We are just about to sign our contract to start actually charging our pre-sales. And in terms of distribution channels, we want to raise awareness campaigns through change.org and have organic connections with rare disease patient advocacy groups and reach kindergartens and elementary schools. In terms of outside of Turkey and European Union, we are in the phase of becoming GDPR compliant. Other than this, we don't have really issues, and we are looking for partners actually in European Union.
Thank you very much.
Good. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Erkki, please.
Yes, thank you. Your value proposition is based on the assumption that more information is always good. In some cases, actually, more information is not good. So I would like to hear your consideration on the ethical aspects of providing extra information when there is sometimes no action after that from the patient.
Amazing question. I'm glad you asked this. This is a big discussion, both in science and also a public sphere. That's why we want to focus for newborn screening only on actionable genes and diseases linked with that. Our expert team curated only 180 diseases that can start in the childhood onset, the first 10 years of the life of the baby. That's only actionable. So no headache for the parents, no headache for anyone. And as of course, as science progresses, more genes and more mutations will be more actionable. But for now, we're only focusing on the actionable ones with current treatments available.
Thank you. Next question, please. If there is any. Don't be shy. because we have some couple of seconds ahead of us. But if
maybe a question. When the baby is already born, isn't that like too late to understand if there are genetic issues for that baby? And aren't currently there are procedures that are being done before birth to understand the genomics of the baby?
Yes, that's a great question. So before birth, what people do is they check for Down syndrome, NIPT, and stuff like that. But after birth, there is a whole suite of other diseases that you can actually check right after birth, because some symptoms do not appear. For example, glycogen storage disease, retinoblastoma, your baby is perfectly healthy, asymptomatic, you are discharged from hospital, you're happy, parents go home. But then at 6 months, 1 year old, suddenly symptoms begin, and no one really knows what's happening, and it's a long diagnostic odyssey because it's a rare disease. So definitely there are many diseases, 180 at least diseases that are actionable that you can learn when the baby is born and showing no symptoms whatsoever.
Ibrahim, thank you very much, and we are moving forward. Let's say once you are taking the hospital care, your physician has control of your information, of all resources. But what about the situation you are out of the hospital? How to bring more care there? And this is our third challenge, digital therapeutics. And we're going to open this challenge with Vogustim, startup from Turkey.
Dreaming of helping people and changing their lives in a positive way is our biggest drive to overcome challenges. From marketing to regulations, from IP to fundraising, HealthCare Lab has helped us sharpen our skills and deepen our knowledge with the training and mentorship of experts in their fields. The prize would have been really helpful, but we learned so much, so we think we already won the competition. As it is one of the most iconic Turkish dishes, kebab is my favorite too. I was dreaming of becoming an astronaut when I was a child. But one day, Elon Musk will help me to realize this dream.
Ali, good afternoon, good evening. How are you?
I'm doing fine. What about you?
Yeah, with you. So if we are ready, we are starting your 3-minute pitch.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, cool. Hi, I'm Ali, one of the co-founders of Vogustim. Vogustim develops a therapeutic medtech solution for digestive disease patients that cannot be treated with current methods. Digestive diseases are a huge issue. 1 out of every 5 people suffers from it. The economic burden of digestive diseases is even bigger than heart disease and mental health problems. Inflammatory bowel disease is one of the biggest unmet needs among digestive diseases. 3 million people in the US suffering from IBD, and still nearly half of the patients cannot be treated with the current methods, which are only drugs and surgery. On top of that, the total cost per patient per year is about $20,000. At Vogustim, we create a treatment opportunity for patients who have drug-resistant IBD, refractory IBD, and patients suffering from the side effects of the medications. Our product has both hardware and software. Hardware is like a headphone. You place it on both of your ears, and through the ears, we electrically stimulate the vagus nerve. Since the vagus nerve connects gut and the brain, and has a role to decrease hyperinflammation in the body, Vogustim creates a treatment opportunity for IBD patients. The hardware is controlled by a mobile app via Bluetooth. By doing this, we can collect data and customize stimulation parameters. Besides being as simple as using a headphone, it's totally non-invasive and non-chemical. Well, does it work? Yes, it works. In this preclinical trial, Vogustim was applied to rats with colitis model. As you can see in the pictures above, there's a significant improvement in group 4 compared to group 3. So far, we raised a pre-seed round from a local pharma company. We got several national grants. We have 5 global patent pendings. And now we are filing our FDA pre-submission documents. Later on, we will apply for FDA Breakthrough Device Designation Program, which is an accelerated pathway of FDA for novel devices that target unmet need in the market. And we aim to commercialize our solution in 2 years for IBD patients. Afterward, we will expand indication of use in other diseases such as IBS. Our revenue model is based on device sales and multi-subscription model. We have a strong team behind this startup. Dr. Özden has more than 10 years of experience in vagus nerve stimulation area. I'm a serial entrepreneur with one exit, and we have strong advisory board members from different backgrounds. And all of us are motivated to create a solution for helpless people and help us to make this dream happen. Thank you.
Ali, you are so calm that I think that your behavior is like a behavior of a winner. But don't forget, we have questions. We have 4 members of our jury, and they are ready right now. 3 minutes for question and answers. Starts like now, and starts with Lee, please.
Thanks so much. I'm curious about the consumer element of this. If you think about the fact that 10 to 30 minutes actually each day could be a lot for the average person, if you're thinking about ways to combine this with other consumer devices or approaches. And then additionally, if you have a sense of whether or not patients would have to redo this every once in a while. I note in your deck it says for 2 to 6 months, but is this something you anticipate they'd have to redo every year?
Yeah, in our preclinical trial, we applied our device for 10 minutes per day. So we think that 10 to 13 minutes per day will be enough. And the usage of the device depends on the patient condition. So a patient can use it once in a lifetime or can use it regularly. So depending on the condition.
Next question, please.
So what's the regulatory burden? So what's the regulatory burden on registering this device?
Yeah, it's class 2 medical device on both FDA, under FDA, and also CE regulations. So we will apply. Actually, our primary market is the US, so we will first apply for the FDA approval, and as you know, CE regulations have recently changed, and it's a bit hard to get a certification in Europe currently. So that's one of the reasons why we focus on the US market first, and it's the biggest market for sure. Yeah.
Any other question?
Quick question: who will train the patients? I mean, you don't want it to be used unwisely by them. So how are you going to plan this education mechanism?
Yeah, it will be online sessions on the app, so you will watch the videos. But believe me, it's quite easy to use. It's like a normal headphone. You just place it on your ears, and it just gives a gentle electricity.
Any other question, or the presentation was so fruitful that no question left at all? Yeah. Tamas, just showing us that, okay, it was fruitful. So thank you very much, Ali.
It was confident.
Yeah, thank you very much. And now let's move to Poland, and let's have a next startup from Poland with the name Calmsy.
With COVID, we saw a growing need for high-quality children's mental health care. Now we see what's happening to displaced children in the Ukraine, and there just aren't enough doctors to address these types of important issues. This has been one of the most comprehensive and structured accelerators we've been a part of. They've provided deep expertise and mentoring in so many different areas, ranging from regulatory guidance to fundraising. And we've established professional relationships that we hope to carry on well beyond our time in the HCL. We're an international company, so we're based in London, San Francisco, and Warsaw. So I guess it would be a buffet of pierogi, hamburgers, pizza, and maybe a spot of tea. When I was young, I wanted to travel the world and write stories. And I'm doing that right now as a doctor, writing therapeutic stories for children's mental health. And my job is like being a doctor at Pixar. It's so cool, and I love going to work every day. Well, the future is now. Digital therapeutics that provide greater personalization and much more patient engagement are already being introduced to the market. We feel like we're helping to guide the future of digitized medicine.
Kids are cool for sure. Yeah, I'm sure about it. Matusz, good evening. Are you ready for your pitch?
Good evening. Always ready.
Always ready. So go ahead.
Perfect. Thank you. Colmsy develops prescription-grade digital therapeutics for children's mental health. A recent New York Times article focused on the 11-year-old daughter of a busy ICU nurse called Jackie. She had bottled up feelings of loneliness until she could no longer cope. With scissors in hand, intending to hurt herself, she hesitated and reached out for help. Now, some children aren't so lucky. Suicide is among leading causes of death in young people between 5 and 18-year-olds. In the US, every 3 to 4 days, one child under the age of 13 dies of suicide. And in fact, 20% of children in the US have a mental, emotional, or behavioral disorder, but 80% of them do not receive appropriate care. Digital therapeutics help address this need. These are therapeutic interventions driven by software to prevent, manage, or treat a disorder or disease. They are prescribed by doctors and can be reimbursed. Our solution, Mission Amygdala, is a space game designed to deliver therapeutic support for children with mild to moderate depression and anxiety. We create a gaming experience to introduce cognitive behavioral therapy within a 4-week structured program that involves activities, animated storytelling, and real-time therapeutic discussions with our conversational video bot avatars. So imagine, the child is playing a video game, and the character suddenly starts talking to them about what they are feeling. It's an engaging experience that they will enjoy returning to. Our interactive avatars guide users through daily CBT sessions. They are driven by AI and based on years of research and clinical experience. We've tested our conversational approach in a clinical trial with adults and have positive preliminary results for the reduction of severity of symptoms, both for depression and anxiety. And here is the graph that shows positive change over time. There is also significant upside opportunity to what we are building, proven by other pediatric DTX market participants, such as Akili, that is now going public through a SPAC, and Cognoa, that has raised significant funding. And also, while the adult DTX market is increasingly competitive, there are still less than 10 FDA-approved DTX solutions for children and no solutions for young children dealing with depression and anxiety. We differentiate ourselves by focusing on children from an early age and addressing depression and anxiety. In addition, our solution is highly interactive and engaging and can develop rapport with users. Our advantage is our cross-functional team. We have expertise in managing R&D and deploying software at scale. Our COO and I have been mentioned on Forbes 25 under 25 list, and our medical team has over 20 years in clinical and research experience. Our advisors include the former Polish National Consultant for Child and Adolescent Psychiatry and the former president of AstraZeneca Poland. Finally, we were awarded the MedTech World Mental Health Tech Product of the Year Award for the year 2021. And thank you very much. I'm happy to answer all the questions.
Yeah, I think you are addressing a very important topic for sure. Ready, Herschel, for questions? If yes, I'm turning to jury. My dear jury, Kfir, please start.
Thank you. By the way, this is, in my opinion, one of the most pressing matters of our days is mental health. I've read your deck and it seems like you have a very medical approach, but I haven't found anything from the gaming angle. I didn't see anybody on the team that came from a gaming studio. And one of the biggest hurdles for this to scale would be to create it as very fun and gamified solution. So have we missed anything?
Yes. So basically, in addition to our core founders team, we also have a great and strong team of developers, designers that includes both UX designers, and also, we are working right now on bringing more gaming designers. Actually, we're bringing a consultant from the CD Projekt company that produced The Witcher and Cyberpunk recently, and we're bringing consultants of this level to the company. And as you said, this is super important, and we really design our solution to make it as engaging.
There was a problem with the connection.
Okay. So I'm just waiting for new questions from your side. I hope that in a second it will work appropriately.
Can you hear me, guys?
Yes, Tamás, go ahead if you have a question.
Yeah, so there are two things. So first of all, Wish, so you mentioned the Cyberpunk, so I cannot mitigate this circumstance that hopefully you will have definitely less bug than Cyberpunk had in your solution. But the question is for health, this is pretty much a crowded market full of different type of solutions. So what are your biggest differentiator or the benefit, let's say, from the others? Of course, I know it's a pretty atomized market, but let's just highlight one.
Okay, so it's a super important question, and something that really differentiates ourselves is what we focus on. We focus on young children between the age of 8 to 12-year-old suffering from depression and anxiety. And in fact, there isn't currently a DTX FDA-approved solution for that niche. And there are plenty of other solutions like, Akili that addresses ADHD, Cognoa with autism, Limbix addressing depression and anxiety, but for adolescents. And we have found a niche with around 30 million kids really needing a solution like ours, in which we believe to be one of the first companies to really introducing a solution.
We faced some technical issues, so I think if you have any other question, yes, please go ahead, Erki.
Yeah, thank you. You showed us the clinical proof from the adults, proof on children and longer period.
So our solution will be verified in a clinical trial on children. That will be a follow-up trial. We started with a trial for adults so that we first of all validate our solution on adults that is safe, that our approach really works. And only then we wanted to follow on to a trial with children that's really much more demanding to really go on. It requires more resources from us, and from a regulatory perspective, there are many more things that we have to meet. So we wanted to try to start as quickly with clinical validation. And in terms of the period, the beauty of our solution is that the aim of our solution is to be used for 4 weeks. We show therapeutic outcomes, and that is the reason why this trial is so quick, because it's like a proper drug. You take it only for a certain period of time, and then it has to show therapeutic outcomes on you. So that you don't infinitely use this product, but it has to be a really good dose of cognitive behavioral therapy so that it positively impacts on you.
Comprehensive answer. Thank you very much, Matúš. And now let us move to the last startup, Synovius.
Thanks very much.
Synovius from Romania.
For the wheelchair users, the real challenges came later. Bad sores, stiffening of the joints, atrophy of the muscles. Therefore, based on their needs, we designed Synovius to prevent the consequences of the prolonged sitting. Our challenges as a startup are not bigger than the challenges of people diagnosed with paraplegia. They are facing the real battle, and this gives us the forcefulness to overcome our obstacles. We have been guided to divide each milestone into small pieces to streamline results achievement. Together with our mentors, we established a pilot study for diving deep on the needs of people with paraplegia. This will help us further to customize our device. When I was a child, I wished to become a magician. Years later, I have realized that everyone can be a magician if they can change someone's life.
Nikolai, good evening. Are you prepared? Are you ready?
Yeah, hello. Yes, I am ready.
So go ahead. This is the last 3-minute speech.
Hi, I'm Nikolai Mândru. I'm the Synovius founder. The human body is an extraordinary machine and is the best tool that you have. Imagine for a moment that you can't move your legs for the rest of your life. How would you feel? Now you understand the wheelchair users go through. The wheelchair is a blessing and a curse in the same time for these people. But what you don't know is that every year, around 500,000 people end up using a wheelchair, and only then they start to face real problems: muscle atrophy, joint stiffening, and bed sores. In order to prevent the consequences of the prolonged sitting, a wheelchair users need to recover for the rest of their lives. Hospitals and clinics represent a vital part of our society. Even so, the buildings have their constraints, can handle a limited number of patients with a limited number of therapists. Unfortunately, the existing solutions cannot be folded on the requirements of these people because they are not portable, they can be used only on bed, and they cannot be handled by the patients. Analyzing the comparative landscape of existing devices, we designed Synovius, a solution that uses mobile orthosis to offer people the freedom in recovery. It is controlled through an intuitive app directly by the patient and remotely monitored by the therapist. The device has incorporated smart sensors and hard-coded joints limitation for user protection. Now the therapist can work effortless with multiple patients at the same time. Also, hospitals and clinics can extend their business area. Until now, we assembled a prototype in order to find the adequate mechanical parts and hardware components. And thanks to HealthCare Lab program, we realized that our solution will have a bigger impact on the recovery field than we imagined. Global physiotherapy market will be bigger by 2023, and we intend to penetrate this market. Only in Romania, we have 3,000 wheelchair users. Imagine the number of users at a global scale. Our intention is to sell and rent the device to clinics and hospitals, so they can give it further to people in need. This will lead to recurring income with the same number of therapists. This is the team behind the project. It is a multidisciplinary team divided on 5 areas: medical, business, design, hardware, and software. We are the perfect mix of knowledge and energy for this project. This year, we are in a transition from a proof of concept to an MVP. Moreover, based on the interviews that we had with people with paraplegia, we collected their feedback for customizing our device to their needs. 500,000 euro represents the financial support that will bring us to the next phase. We want to perform hardware, software, and mechanical development in order to do the pilot tests. Also, we want to collaborate with hospitals and medical centers to conclude the clinical trials. In a world that is constantly changing, Synovius brings the motion when the nervous system no longer responds. If you want to join us on our amazing journey, do not hesitate to contact us. I am Nikolai Mândru from Synovius, and I am ready for your questions.
Nikolai, thank you very much. And you are ready. It means that the time for our jury starts right now. Tamás, please begin.
Hi, so just a quick question. How do you see from the product development perspective, the scalability? Because now you're definitely focusing on the prototype MVP and of course entering to market and then of course the sales. But how about the product, let's say flexibility from the scalability point of view?
Thank you for your question. Actually, the scalability is an easy part for us because we intend to cooperate with the orthosis manufacturer, and our device will be used with this mobile orthosis. And if we can have a collaboration with them, then we have their market target also. So basically, we can penetrate the market very easily with this collaboration.
Oh, okay. I'm not sorry. Just to a little bit fine tune it, so it's not about how you are conquering the market with the product, but from the features and the further set of products in your portfolio. What do you think about this? Or you are now focusing solely this product? You will see further on. So, what's your plan?
Actually, for scalability, our device is working as a server, so we'll have the total control of these devices. When we see in a hospital that the device is not function, we can implement different strategy to put this device to work on other neurological diseases.
Understood. Thank you.
Next question, please, Erki. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. So I didn't quite get what kind of clinical endpoints do you plan to tackle? Is it a device for comfort, and or does it have any clinical effect as well, and what this effect would be?
Actually, yeah, the effect is a big one on the people with paraplegia. Imagine if they cannot move their legs for the rest of their lives, they will have other diagnoses too. So if they are using our device, then they prevent to have those diagnoses like bed sores, joint stiffening, and muscle atrophy. It is cheaper. Actually, our device will help them to prevent those consequences, because it's cheaper to prevent something than to treat it.
Next question, please, if there is any. Yeah, Kfir, go ahead, please.
Yeah, so I'm not an expert on the space, but I've seen a lot of exoskeleton companies. I remember Rewalk from Israel developing exoskeletons. Wouldn't it be a threat that one of those companies say, okay, we'll take our technology, we see what you guys are doing, and create a smaller device that will basically fit onto wheelchairs? Those companies are well funded. How do you think about that?
Yeah, thank you for your question. Actually, everything can be replicated on these days, but they cannot replicate our entire plan, because we'll start with the wheelchair and orthosis, but our plan is bigger than this.
Nikolai, thank you very much. This was the last question from our jury. And I'm waving to our jury because you are now about to deliberate in a secret room to really choose the winners of the main prizes. So good luck. Good luck. But you have also a place to choose your personal winner, because you can also choose your favorite pitch and use Slido with the hashtag HCL2022. And just to give you a couple of minutes, we are about to having 3 minutes break, and you can vote. You can vote, and we will be right back with a very interesting panel discussion. Good evening once again, our innovation fans. We are back again because the public voting is closed now. And it is just before the very interesting panel discussion we prepared for you. If you remember words of Padraic mentioning future healthcare innovation, mentioning personalized healthcare, now we're going to dive a little bit deeper together with Erik Lundgren, the GM of Roche, Czech Republic. So, Erik, the floor is yours.
Great. Thank you, and welcome back from the break. I think it's clear that judges have a pretty tough job ahead of them. And before we jump into the panel, I'd love to just congratulate all of the entrepreneurs and participants in the HealthCare Lab. Excellent presentations, tremendous progress being made to support and advance, of course, your own companies, but also to drive the future of healthcare. Super, super exciting and inspiring session. So while the judges are doing their very difficult work, we've got a great treat for all of you. So my name is Erik Lundgren, and I'm the general manager for Roche Pharma in the Czech Republic. And I'm also very happy to serve on the board of the HealthCare Lab. And I'm thrilled to be joined on this panel to discuss the future of personalized healthcare. And we're really fortunate to have some true global leaders in the field. So let me very briefly introduce them. And I think as we get into the conversation, you'll learn a lot more about them and their perspectives. So we're very lucky to have Joanne Hackett with us. She joins us from London, and she currently serves as the head of genomic and precision medicine at IQVIA. Joanne is also an accomplished entrepreneur. She's a scientist, and she's an overarching healthcare strategist. So she can bring a lot of perspective to this conversation. Dr. Ligia Kornowska joins us from Warsaw. And there she serves as the managing director of the Polish Hospital Federation, which is the largest federation of hospitals in Poland. She's also the leader of the AI and Health Coalition. She has a very deep and passionate interest in AI, but also in telemedicine, virtual reality, and how blockchain applications can sort of be used in the health data space. We are also fortunate to have Miguel Amador. He is joining us tonight from Braga in Portugal. He serves as the EIT Health InnoStars ecosystem lead in Portugal. He is also managing director of Pi Ventures, which is a group that really supports digital health ventures and trying to navigate that innovation pathway, and has done some pioneering work around thinking about regulatory paths and some of the things that make it challenging to go from idea to real solutions. So very fortunate to have Miguel with us. And last but certainly not least, my friend and colleague, Nicole Arming, joins us. Nicole leads the PHC and Foundation Medicine groups for Pharma International at Roche. She is an absolute elite strategist, but she also balances this with skills and pragmatism of being a world-class operator as well. So really helps us to think big and think tactically and tangibly about what we're trying to do to make real change in the world. So please join me in welcoming this august group and panel. So really looking forward to this conversation, guys. So as we jump in, I just wanted to start with kind of a general question, which is PHC is a really broad concept, and it's almost become a buzzword, which is good because it means it's really resonating in the ether. Can be bad because buzzwords almost become somewhat meaningless at some level sometimes. So it really does encompass a broad set of technologies, approaches, and solutions. So for the purposes of this conversation, I'm hoping we can maybe define the borders a little bit of what we talk about when we're talking about PHC or personalized healthcare. So how do you think about it, and what components of the universe of PHC are you each most excited about. And maybe just to get the ball rolling, I'll put someone on the spot. I'll start with Miguel.
So first of all, nice to see you and inviting to this panel. So when we speak about personalized medicine, actually, I started with my PhD looking to cell therapies and genetic therapies and so on, this more biotech kind of approaches. But at the same time, on the verge, when we went from the blockbusters drugs into what is, we found out as we get more data that every drug didn't work the same way in every person. So the more data you get, the more harder was to convince regulators that actually that you could push a drug just because it's safe. And the more, and we have Ligia here from the HealthCare, the more you push for new therapies, they need to validate that they actually bring economic value. And we have having more and more this pressure to show the value, economic value of the therapies. So it's not enough to be safe. It also needs to really work with those people. So we saw this more data allow us to understand that actually we need more data to fine tune things, and we get into this challenge of the personalized medicine where we need to develop and collect evidence of what kind of treatments work for specific groups of people. At the same time, that requires even more data and more information, because regardless, even if you are bringing personalized medicine, you still need to get validation to a population. And that became a case where actually sometimes we discuss that now every disease is a rare disease in some cases. And this is a challenge, personalized medicine from the side of the biotech, but also from the side of the digital health, in the sense that now the data becomes something that can and needs to extend everything we do in medicine. And just to give you a notion for me, I'm more passionate about personalized medicine is the digital therapeutics. When you combine the traditional pharma with digital health apps, and they are actually provided together and complement each other. And because they complement each other, they deliver more value than just one on itself. And I think this is the path for personalized medicine. How can you actually have a technology or intervention that is tailored to you, so it is not just being sold as equal in the pharmacy. You can actually, when you buy from a pharmacy, you get it tailored to your needs, to your even your behaviors, let's say.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, thanks, Miguel. This notion of integration is so important and so exciting. Nicole, can I ask you to sort of help us get your perspective on sort of this broad universe of PHC and what you're most excited about?
Well, sure. Thanks for that. So I guess Miguel has actually nailed it quite well. But I think the term personalized healthcare, right? It says a lot already. I just always like to put the health away from the care. So I'm trying to say, right, it's about what we can do to preserve health, and if needed, to tailor care and to personalize care around each and every individual. And as Miguel has said, right, it's about diagnostics, it's about digital technologies, it's about targeted medicines and also data insight that we can leverage to get there. And, to me, it becomes most tangible when I think about an example that I know. And I sometimes pull the example of my father, who had several heart attacks. He's diabetic with all the consequences that we have seen, for example, in the pitch of Kelvin, and is also under cancer treatment. And I think in an ideal world, his heart attacks would have never happened because sensors would have warned us that there's something wrong. In an ideal world, when he would enter, an ambulance car, they would not lose valuable time because the paramedics would already know who they have in front of them. What's the preconditions, what's the medication he's on, and so on and so forth. And in an ideal world, also, I think he would not have to go back to the hospital just because he's experiencing such severe side effects from all the medications and pills that he's taken, right? In an ideal world, a doctor would get assisted by information and technology to actually choose what's the right combination of treatments to give to a patient.
Fantastic. That ideal world sounds like a pretty enticing and exciting place to live. So I want to follow up on that theme, and everyone on our panelists, you guys are all visionaries. You're all futurists to a certain extent. So let's go into this sort of future world, this ideal world a bit that Nicole is sort of laying out, and I'd love to hear some other perspectives on that. Maybe kind of from the avenue of your areas of passion and expertise. And so maybe, Joanne, can I go to you on this one? I'd love to know, your focus and you have a lot of areas of focus and passion, but certainly something that pops off the page is your work in genomics. And I'm just curious from the perspective of genomics, how do you imagine the world of healthcare looking differently 5 to 10 years from now? And how is genomics kind of specifically going to be a part of driving us to that future state?
Great. Yeah, thank you. I think one of the big things that a lot of people haven't quite realized the value of with respect to genomics is the preventative aspect. So we heard things that Nicole was just saying about her father. Was there actually a genomic component perhaps to the heart attacks? And if there was, could that have been prevented? And I think one of the really lucky things in the past couple of years is actually seeing the value and, going back to the previous point, which is every disease now is a rare disease. All of a sudden now seeing the value of genomics and being able to understand that it's not some weird pseudoscience, people are a little bit more forthcoming when they can understand that it's going to be something that's applicable to them. So the real rapid analysis of diagnosing patients, especially young children with rare diseases at birth, is really fundamentally changed the longevity that these children have and the quality of life. And it's not just for that one child, it's the family as well. So few people recognize the fact that the whole family unit suffers if there's a child with a rare disease that's not diagnosed. So not just on the rare disease side, we've seen so much happening, especially in cancer. Really exciting things now happening in the central nervous system. Again, to me, the whole promise that genomics has is actually the preventative aspect of it. We don't want to find out that we've got early onset Parkinson's when we're 45 years old. We want to know that earlier. And if there's a therapeutic or a digital innovation of some description that can help us with that, how do we help along that journey? So for me, bizarrely enough, personalized healthcare is really a little bit about prevention and actually a lot about population health, because we don't know what we don't know until we start to actually see more diversity. So I spend a lot of my time trying to find and curate really interesting data sources that you wouldn't necessarily go to. We unfortunately have not enough diversity in our data, and therefore we're not allowed to find those insights as quickly as we probably should, which means when the drugs do get launched, perhaps they're not in the right countries or perhaps they're not being tailored. So there's no such thing as a bad drug. So how do we actually start getting the right drugs to the right people? And to me, I think pharmacogenomics will hugely play in that respect, but also genomics as a way to screen individuals for disease very early in life will be a fundamental part of healthcare.
Fantastic. You're adding P's to PHC, so preventative and population. I like it. That's fantastic. So this future world we're looking at sounds more and more exciting. Lygia, I want to go to you now, and you too wear many hats. But I keep thinking of you over the last few days as I've been thinking about this panel because. And not your AI hat here. Now I want to think about this sort of hospital sort of federation hat of how do we bring these things to life into real clinical practice, and what are some of the things that are challenging about that, but also what are some things that you're seeing or people that you're working with that gives you optimism that we can start to actually bring some of these promising technologies into actual day-to-day clinical care?
Sure. Thank you for that question. Thank you for the invitation. It's great to be here with you today. So it's a funny thing, actually, because we had today we had a breakfast show or breakfast television, and the topic was, is it possible to deliver a specific drug for a specific patient based on his genes? And, that was a question, will it be possible in the future? And I responded that, oh, okay, but it is present right now. For example, when the patient has, I don't know, cancer or some other health conditions, sometimes we, choose the drug based on his genes, on his genes mutations, right? So it's not the future; it's actually present going on right now. So when you ask me, how do we implement this kind of solutions in hospitals? We actually do implement them right now. And some of them are even reimbursed by our national payer. And we have some basics of personalized healthcare, because it may be not the personalized healthcare as we think and we believe in, but some basic we have right now in the hospitals. So the biggest challenge actually from hospital directors' point of view is to have hard data that this kind of solutions, like new technology solutions or even personalized healthcare solutions, are cost effective for hospital and are safe and effective for patients. And even if we have some technologies that even have CE certificate, right? It may be not so obvious that they will actually fit in this particular hospital, in this particular country, and that it will work like it was working during the clinical trials and during that test that it was it went on. So from my point of view, the biggest challenge when it comes to implementing the solutions to hospitals is data about how the solution works in the hospital. And the biggest challenge to develop this kind of technologies is access to medical data, actually patients' data, to know, to develop personalized healthcare, to develop every AI algorithm and actually every new technology, every drug in medicine.
Data comes back around. So, Miguel, I don't want to cut you out of thinking about this sort of future state here. Talk to me about data a little bit and the role you see it playing 5 to 10 years from now in the clinical practice of medicine.
No, definitely data is the biggest challenge. Like as a mentor of multiple startups, I remember to see like in every hackathon someone with a blockchain solution to release all the data of the world, and this will be a technical issue. But the truth is there was no technology issue around the data. Actually, Joanne pretty much summarized is how can we access the data? Where is the data that we can access? And how can we deal with so much sensitive data that has so much value for good, but also for evil. And I see the future more and more moving in the direction of healthcare also is going out of the hospitals, out of the institutions towards the patients. So how can we empower patients to be more responsible for their personalized medicine, their personalized healthcare, not in the way that they are the ones making the decisions, but they will be the ones probably to transport the information and the data to the ones that can support them with the decisions. So I see more the future going that direction. But again, that's still a big challenge on how we do that and not and in the same situation we are now, that the data is just spread around different institutions, because in the end we'll have probably data spread around different phones or different Android, Apple, or whatsoever. So in the end we'll have the same issue, just different brands. So this is something that we need to figure out, but I honestly believe that is the trend of the future hospital that's actually going closer to people outside of the typical centralized hospital goes also with the data, and that will empower personalized medicine.
Perfect. So with personalized healthcare, we often think about the advantages that it can offer for obviously first and foremost for patients or family members of patients. We also think about it from the perspective of entrepreneurs and what opportunities are out there for all of us to think about making a difference. I'm wondering if it's a little bit of a curveball question, but I'm wondering if we could think about, as we move towards this more personalized world, more data-rich world, more integrated world of healthcare, what are the potential advantages for other stakeholders in our healthcare systems that you heard Darren and Padraic talk about at Roche? We care about rapidly advancing innovation 3 to 5 times more value at half the cost of society. So this is kind of a half the cost of society question. Can PHC help in terms of making our healthcare systems more sustainable, of helping hospitals run more efficiently? Talk to me a little bit about some of the other stakeholders in this, and it's a question for anyone, but maybe I'll go to Joanne first.
Yeah, sure. So this is a question that I always get really excited about, because I often say, how would I be able to say to Lygia, for example, that probably the most important thing that you have to think about is clearing your car park, which means you've got patient flow. And how can I possibly tell you that genomics or personalized healthcare is going to actually solve that problem? The answer is it is. I just have to find a way to explain that to you. But it is because you understand patients better. And when you have more data, and this is a problem that we all suffer with constantly, which is everyone who collects data thinks they've got the best data or the most data or it's amazing data. It rarely is, really sorry. And that everybody hears that, data is the new oil and I can make lots of money from it, or I'll be able to get reinvestment from my prototype or from my hospital. Nope, not going to happen either. The problem is it's only good if you collect the right type of data. And sometimes you don't know what that is because the science hasn't necessarily evolved. But I personally think, and I really do think this is going to happen in my lifetime, or at least I hope it does, we will think about using this in a much more constructive way. Currently, so many insurers have to pay, hospitals have to pay for a whole bunch of tests that don't necessarily result in actually a diagnosis. Why do I go and get an MRI if I've got a headache? If I go back in 3 months' time, why is it repeated? If there is nothing wrong with my head, but it's something wrong somewhere else in my body, why is the healthcare system having to pay for that? So how do we actually get smarter? And this goes back to the preventative part. I'm not saying that employers or healthcare systems need to start offering genetic testing at birth. It doesn't have to be genetic testing, but can we be smarter about the way that we treat people as opposed to waiting for them to get sick and almost being some sort of shame that they're sick and then trying to fix them with some sort of drug that's not really going to work? Why is it a bad thing to have a genetic condition and your heart isn't going to be performing correctly? But if you either took drugs earlier in life, or you exercise differently, or if you avoided certain foods, if you've got rare diseases, let's just be a little bit more holistic in our approach when it comes to treating the individual. This is the personalized part in my mind, so that society as a whole can actually support that individual. And this is where I think there'll be a cost-benefit analysis and value-based outcomes and various things like that. So I think it's possible, and I think we're heading in that direction, but who knows?
Fantastic. Lygia, are you convinced? What do you think? Do you think PHC can help make our systems more effective and efficient?
Sure, personalized healthcare can make our system actually number of hospitals smaller, because we will have less and less patients, and the length of their hospitalization will be fewer and fewer. It won't take, for example, 10 days, but it will take 2 days to treat patients. So for sure, it will help when it comes to cost effectiveness and paying for patients' treatment. But I would like to say a little bit more about this access to medical data, because it's a huge problem here in Poland, but it's a problem European Union problem actually, or European problem, because on the one hand, we have that patients' rights to the newest technology possible, to the best treatment option for them, but we need data to create these new technologies. And on the other hand, we have patients' rights to privacy and try to decide what is going on with their data, right? Medical data. So actually, we believe here in Poland, as a Polish Hospital Federation and a couple of other organizations, including EIT Health, that we should go in the direction of a data donation scheme. So patients, the same they donate their blood or their marrow, should have an option to donate their data for R&D purposes. And they can have that knowledge that they can help people that are similar to them. So if they, for example, if they suffer from cancer or, I don't know, from headaches, their data will probably help developing a cure for this kind of cancer or this kind of headache, right? So this is a totally new donation scheme, and we think that's very important to develop it and to educate patients about how their data are valuable to the development of medicine and development of personalized healthcare.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That's a great idea. I'm always overwhelmed and so pleased to see the generosity of patients towards other patients. And I think how can we build the trust in the systems so that people can really tap into and execute on that generosity? Because I don't think I've ever talked to a patient who said they wouldn't do something to try to help the next person who's going to receive that diagnosis if they really believe in the systems around it. So the challenge to all of us on this call is how can we help to create those policy environments to make that a reality, but also to build systems that are trustful and transparent enough that people can act on those their best impulses like that. So fantastic, guys. We've kind of talked about some of the challenges, but I kind of just want to zoom in a little bit more on if each of you could maybe go through and talk about, I know there's a whole world of challenges in front of us, but maybe just touch on kind of one pressing challenge that we think exists today that's getting in the way of sort of that future state we talked about before and where we want to get to. So Nicole, can I throw it to you and just sort of talk about what's one challenge that you see? I know you've got pages of them, so just pick one though and then I'd love to hear everyone's thoughts.
Indeed, there is pages of them, and I guess the trust in the data sharing and education around it is a very, very critical component. But I gotta say, and we've experienced that today. I mean, there's so much innovation happening, and there's so many brilliant minds out there with great ideas and the capabilities to make that happen. But it doesn't really help us if this innovation is never going into clinical care and into the system. And I guess what we've experienced is this requires, a change in funding streams, often a change in legislation, regulation, and a change in guidelines and policies. And those changes tend to happen way too slow. And I like to think about it not just as a challenge, but as an opportunity, because I guess coming together as a group of enthusiasts and as a group of people with different backgrounds, speaking the same language and conveying the same messages, I believe we have a huge opportunity to make that change happen.
Great, fantastic. Joanne? One big challenge for us all to chew on.
Yes, I would echo actually what Nicole had to say, because I do think it comes down to the connectivity of data. It is a huge piece. And I think until individuals understand the good, and I really love this whole digital donation concept as well, that's really where we're going to actually, we're going to succeed hugely. I think, honestly, some of the bigger projects are very ambitious and perhaps they're too extreme. I know what the end state is that a lot of these projects trying to achieve, but perhaps, smaller pieces of the puzzle to be achieved to show that there is demonstrations of utility utility for some of these opportunities are ways to go forward. Sounds like a step backwards, but I think, having these large projects that are trying to span across 5 different countries and connect every single aspect of data in a hospital or 5 hospitals, we're not getting there. And I think it's partially because it's super overwhelming. And by the time you actually start the project, something else has already changed. So, is there a particular digital biomarker that can be connected to an electronic medical record, use some NLP to do some insight, small things like that, and do local pilots? And it's different in every country, let's get honest. So I think that's probably what I would say.
Yeah, great. Miguel?
So I'll speak to the innovators in this challenge, because one thing when we speak about personalized medicine, it does not mean there is a space for each innovator to have their own playgrounds and do things alone. This is actually the opposite. We are seeing on biotech clinical trials for oncology with 5, 6, 7 different drugs being tested at the same time, because then you go through these personalized routes to understand which drug fits best each person, but you do it combined. So the industry is combining. And when we look to digital health in other situations, is actually a call for this needs to be work as an ecosystem. This needs to work as a network. This needs to be work as collaborations. No single entity will be able to deliver personalized medicine in the future by themselves. They need to work with others in the industry. So I'm not even speaking about collaboration with healthcare providers and industry. It's actually between the industry. A lot of the work needs to be done together. So we still need to change the mindset of this is my project, this is my technology, this is what I'm developing, to, okay, this is what I can contribute and how this can make something that is bigger or at least more complete, because it's with the diversity of solutions that then you can tailor the diversity of problems. And because it's the issue of personalized healthcare is how do you find a problem for your solution or the person needing of your solution if you're going one by one with a solution that that only fits 1 in 1 million, when you probably can have a bundle of things that that work for half of the population, one of the parts, and then you can overcome a lot of the policy, regulatory, clinical evidence together. Otherwise, it's too costly to bring any of these kind of innovations to the market alone.
Great. I love it. It's such an important and powerful point around collaboration. And I mean, we talked about it, and Joanne mentioned, my data is the best, or I've got this and that. And it's the whole mentality, right? To make these big changes, it's going to require us to sort of collaborate and work together and in different ways than we've really been conceived of before. Liggy, you already gave us a big problem and a solution to it. So I'm going to move us on because we're towards the end of our time here. So last question for each of you this time, and Liggy, you can go first on this. We've got a whole bunch of entrepreneurs watching call, and a bunch of other folks as well, investors and whatnot. But for the entrepreneurs on the call, can we just speak directly to them maybe for a second? I would just love to know give one piece of advice for these entrepreneurs on the call, thinking about these complex issues, these complex challenges. Can you offer them just sort of one piece of advice to close us out? Liggy, first, please.
Oh, only one?
Yeah, just one.
I may present maybe 3. So first of all, the main and the most important thing is to always be prepared for plan B, plan C, plan D, etc., and always be prepared to change the business model or even change some part of your solution. So I think this is the one main recommendation for entrepreneurs. But actually, from the perspective of Polish healthcare ecosystem, it's very important to create your solutions with your clients from the point zero, and to know how healthcare sector that you want to work in works. For example, you have to know how Polish healthcare sector works to provide a healthcare solution in Polish healthcare ecosystem, because in some countries it is complicated and it's not paid, out of pocket. We have national payers, etc. So we have to be fond of that.
Great. Thank you. You keep giving more than I asked for. It's fantastic. Nicole, one piece of advice.
I would say a big +1 to what has been said. And I would, in addition, say, we all are firmly convinced that this is the future of healthcare and this is how the future is going to look like. On your journey, you will certainly experience a situation where you see more problems and where you're not sure whether this is ever going to work. But I just want to let you know, keep believing and keep trying and keep going different routes and celebrate the small steps.
Fantastic. Miguel?
So I'll advise to focus on what you can control. So this is a bigger challenge of many innovators. They try to develop a business model that requires Lydia and her hospital to provide all the data. How can you do it without her? Focus on what you can control. Can you deliver value to one patient? If that patient gives you the data, can you provide value to one doctor if that doctor is willing to use your tool? Because if you need to wait for everything to happen before you can move, it probably will never reach the sunlight. So focus on what you can control. Look to your business model, look to your innovation. What kind of pieces can you simply deploy on things that you can control and then move from there?
Some sage advice in there. Joanne, can you bring us home? One last piece of advice.
Firstly, where were these lovely people when I needed your help 25 years ago? But nonetheless, I think honestly, a big part is asking for help. Everyone will be very supportive. And this goes back, I think, to all three other pieces of advice, which is you probably don't know what you don't know until you start asking for help. Just ask. No one is going to fault you for asking the question. And it's much better to co-create and be prepared and actually provide a solution, not just another widget or something that's a bit gimmicky. No one wants that. Provide a solution and ask for help.
Perfect. All right, guys. Well, that actually brings us to the end of our time. I knew this was going to fly. It went far faster than even I had feared. We could have kept going all night, but I think there's a lot of people interested in the results of the voting and the competition. So thank you to all of our panelists for your wisdom and your thoughtfulness tonight, and for all the work you're doing as well to push us towards the future of healthcare and really bring PHC to life for patients. It's really amazing work. So thank you for all that you're doing. And with that, I'll close the panel and flip it back over, I believe, to Darius.
Fruitful discussion, for a powerful discussion, and also for the powerful advices we heard. And from my perspective, I feel more confident about how the future in healthcare will look like. I hope so. And I'm not, if you have the same feelings like I have, that there's energy in the air, because we are moving up. We are moving forward because we are about to announce the winners. Yes, award ceremony is about starting, and just to remember, we have 4 prizes. We have 3 main prizes for 10,000 euros in each category of challenge. We have 3 challenges, 3 categories, and 3 startups in each category. And moreover, we have a public award, and it means 4,000 euro award provided by the innovation consultancy CIVITTA and legal and strategy partner Sparring. And for this, I would like to welcome on the stage Peter Kolesar, partner at CIVITTA Slovakia. Good evening once again.
Hi, Daryl.
Good evening. How do you feel after the second batch of healthcare? Because we are going about to finish. Your feelings from today?
Very, very good. It's very exciting, even though this has been online. We felt the energy. We had a lot of viewers, a very large audience watching us on different platforms. And altogether, people that actually voted.
500.
522 that voted in the public vote. So I'll just repeat what the award is. Award is worth 4,000 euros, and it's a service package from Sparring, which is a legal and strategy partner for startups globally. And there's a second part of the award, which is from CIVITTA, from us, from innovation experts. And we are giving the winner of the public vote a package, travel package, and a trip to a HealthTech conference of their choice. So 2 of the things combined will be given to a startup that won the public vote award.
Yeah. So the energy is here. The atmosphere is here. So my last question to you. The prize goes to?
The prize goes to Kamzi.
Kamzi! Kamzi and Mateusz, are you with us?
Yes, thank you very much for the award. We really appreciate it, and it's really great to be awarded the public award and recognizing what we're building.
So you feel energized right now, your first thoughts, or what will be your first phone call to whom you will call that, come on, we won it?
Yeah, definitely to all our teammates, and we'll write on our Slack channel and we'll be very energized. So thank you very much.
But there's a chance for you also to win next and next prizes, because we are just at the beginning. So Peter, thank you very much.
Thank you, Dara.
Because we are entering the first category, first challenge, healthcare data management. And in this category, the award will be announced by Darren Wilson, General Manager at Roche Slovakia. Darren, good evening once again. And maybe I will start with a question, because you were with us at the beginning, and now you saw all the presentation. So the question is, if you feel positive about the future of healthcare with these hard-working innovators out there.
Absolutely. Actually, I'm still really really excited about the public vote. So congratulations to Kalmzi. It's just great to know that so many people participated in this. And again, as I said at the beginning, the caliber of the startups that have participated in this program are outstanding. And actually, that's what makes this program so great, but also so difficult to make choices on who's the best. But again, as mentioned before, if we consider that these 9 startups are an example of the type of innovation that we have in Europe for healthcare, then I am very confident that going forward, we're going to be able to achieve amazing things with the startup community, as well as with the support of corporates like Roche and with partners like EIT Health.
Thank you very much. And the second question is very clear now. The prize goes to?
Well, the prize for the healthcare data, again, I just want to emphasize that for the 3 startups with Oncochain, UpMedic, and Brachydos, really difficult conversation with the jury as to who is the deserving one of this. And, it was a bit of a split vote, I have to admit, but we did make a decision. And so with that, we would love to award UpMedic as the winner for the health data category.
UpMedic, thank you very much. Sophia, good evening once again.
Good evening.
Your first thought, your first ideas. How do you feel?
Well, surprised and overwhelmed, and also thankful. I don't know how much time I have, because I wanted to thank, like on Oscars.
Yeah, go ahead. I will stop you tomorrow. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I mean, first of all, the founders who are also my friends, so Pavel and Krzysztof, and our team that is crazy about innovation in medicine, but it's in medicine, so it's pretty sane. Our mentors, Veronika and Martin, and also whole team of Roche, EIT Health, and CIVITTA, because really this accelerator was an amazing experience and very, very helpful.
Thank you very much. Enjoy this day, enjoy this evening, and let us together move to the second challenge, screening and early diagnostics. And this main prize will be announced by Tamasi Bekashi, Rice Business Creation Manager at EIT Health InnoStars, who should be online in a moment. I will just repeat that we have 10,000 euro as a prize money for one startup. Yeah, are you there? Are you there? We can see.
Yes, I am.
Beautiful.
Hi, guys.
Beautiful. So you have the chance to speak with the startups before. Do you see the progress when hearing their speeches tonight?
Definitely. So, first of all, it's clearly show how all the teams improved during the program. And there is one more, maybe even more important aspect, is that the whole program and also EIT Health's mission is to actually connect the different ecosystem players, meaning that we are connecting the public institute with the corporate world and, of course, the academic side. And definitely, whenever we are talking about collaboration, HealthCare Lab is a shining example that actually different parts of the ecosystem is coming together and trying to help the startups. So the one thing is that what the teams actually learned, and just answering for the question, definitely it reflects how much they learned, how their pitch actually improved during the program. But maybe from their future perspective and also from the healthcare future perspective, it's even more important that, first of all, some of them already found good spots together with Roche, actually, and they will continue the collaboration. Of course, from EIT Health's perspective, we are able to offer different program opportunities for all the 9 startups, actually. So this is how in a real life, help and support can come together and realize. So this is what I see as the most important benefit for all the ecosystem players contributed in this program.
Beautiful. So feel satisfied somehow.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The lineup was really strong, and how Darren just previously mentioned, we had really, so it's not the usual talk that we say, hey, it was a really tough decision, but it was. So in almost all the 3 categories, that was a really heavy discussion, who should win. And that clearly shows that we have 9 really strong startups within this program. So, of course, it's usually been said that this is one of your stations in your journey. So, of course, for all of you, so for all the 9 teams, you have a really bright future in our eyes. And, of course, from each and every angles we have, we try to support you in the future as well.
So please prepare to my last question.
Yeah.
The prize goes to...
Drum roll, please, and that goes to Calvin Health.
Calvin Health!
Congratulations, guys.
Gorgi, good afternoon, good evening. Your feelings.
Hello.
You are the winner.
Thank you very much for that. We really appreciate it. It has been a team effort. Evgeny and I and most of our team members were very actively participating. This has been really a tremendous experience, and I'm not saying this just out of courtesy. It has been by far the most successful accelerator program that we've ever been part of in our 12 years of entrepreneurial life with different ventures. And I honestly reflect what I said when they asked me who should win this competition. I saw so many bright entrepreneurs, people who has dedicated their time and energy and their sweat and blood into building solutions that will help. And I can reflect on some of the things that Miguel said in the previous panel. I think that we should work as an ecosystem, and with the support of Roche, EIT Health, CIVITTA in the future, really build the healthcare of tomorrow. They say 20 people can change the destiny of the whole planet. And I believe that all the people here, we have this potential. So we make personal commitment to support as much as possible any participant in the HCL lab. We do feel those people as friends, and we'll continue to feel that way. So we do have high expectations from Roche, from EIT Health, to really make this a success that even beyond what has already been successful. So thank you very much for appreciating our efforts, and I think that we are all winners, and this is a prize. We do appreciate it, but the most important work is lying ahead.
Prizes means money, but I think and I feel that you are energized, and this is more important than anything else. It's there. Once again, big congratulations to Kelvin Health, big congratulations. And we are moving forward to the last category, digital therapeutics. And this category will be announced by Veronika Piknová, Head of Innovation, Roche Slovakia. Good evening.
Good evening, everyone. And thank you for staying with us till very last moments of the demo day tonight.
Definitely. And you personally, you were part of this project from the very first day. Now we are about to finish. Your feelings, your thoughts.
So if I can share with you very honestly, what a ride it has been for all of us, not only for our 9 startups joining the acceleration program, but maybe let me take this moment and also share some words of appreciation towards my Roche colleagues. It was really amazing experience for all of us. And I would like to thank to all the colleagues who joined us as mentors, challenge owners, as squad members, covering the 10 Roche affiliates. Thank you guys for all your efforts towards our startups. And of course, I would like to thank also to our external partners, EIT Health and CIVITTA. Without them, we would never reach current stages of the project. And I have to say, last week, we had a feedback session with our startups, and some of them showed with us this was the best acceleration program that they have attended so far. And I think this is really great, and these words should be dedicated to all those who joined the program.
So we are already thinking about the third batch?
Yeah.
Next year? Yeah.
Definitely.
But before the next year, we are about to announce the last winner. So the prize goes to...
Kalmzi.
Mateusz, again, I somehow predict that maybe you will earn a next award, and it comes true. How do you feel?
Amazing, really energized again. So thank you so much for selecting us. We really appreciate it, and it's really great that you're supporting us on this journey to really make impact for pediatrics mental health that we really believe is important. And through the accelerator, we really learned a lot. It was super valuable and helpful, the experience, and we really hope that we'll continue to keep this relationship going as the time will go. And again, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. It's super valuable and super important for us, this distinction. Thank you.
Thank you, your team, thanks to your words. And I have to say that, okay, we have now 3 winners of 4 prizes, but we should say a big thank you to all startups that took place, to all mentors, to all coaches, because it's about 3 months of intensively work, yeah?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, we are about to finish this batch this year, and before we go home, before we enjoy the rest of this day, let me switch back to Darren Wilson and ask him for some final thoughts, final ideas. The floor is yours.
Thanks, Daryl. So just in conclusion, I think we captured a very important and common theme here, and this is the fact that the challenges of healthcare are too big for one government or one corporate company or even a startup to tackle. And that in order for us to really bring better benefits to patients and improve the healthcare systems, that this is going to require collaboration and partnership. Us coming together and helping to build the healthcare ecosystem that really serves society. And I think that the healthcare lab here, as was mentioned in the program, is a great example of the kind of partnerships that can happen, between government, between corporates, and between startups. And it's a great way to help to support important initiatives and ideas and innovations that we saw here today to bring them to market. And so from Roche's perspective, again, we just really want to appreciate everyone who's been involved. We are very much involved in innovation. We have a lot of activities with startups around the world, and we have some dedicated programs that are intended to support startups like Creosphere and Rox Health. And we really look forward to the future of how we could continue this experience with HealthCare Lab to grow it and to bring even better impact of partnership and innovation to the European market and beyond in the future. So thank you again for everyone who had the opportunity to join us here today.
Thank you very much once again. Thank you very much to all partners, all main partners, Roche, EIT Health, and CIVITTA. Thank to all mentors, all coaches, all startups. Thank you all of you who are staying with us till the very end. And this is the very end. So let me say, see you soon, because Veronica was already thinking about the third batch. So see you soon and goodbye.
Thank you.